Cheers.
Cheers. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 20 of the Cheers Comics podcast, where two of your friends are going to kick back a cold one and talk about their favorite comics of the week, including characters, creators, news, and anything else underneath our illustrated sun. Our show will contain spoilers and may have some adult themes and language some parents might not find suitable for their children. So if you're cool with that, then join me, one of your hosts, Justin Jones, and the spectacled specter, Brian Wang.
Yo. How's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Well, it's been a busy week. We gave you guys some extras last week, and we're already back. Whew, I've been behind a microphone a lot, man, and I'm enjoying giving you guys our thoughts on stuff that I would hope to have some sort of interest in.
As you know, I don't really watch a whole lot of things. It's just not my choice of medium. So I really wasn't hyped up for Alita. I knew it was a thing, but after listening to you and Mason, I want to go see this film now.
It was good, man. I suggest everybody see it. But that's what we talked about a couple days ago. Let's get on to officially episode 20, man, where the numbers are...
Yeah, milestone.
Yeah, here we go. Episode 20. What are we drinking this week? It was my turn to pick. Unfiltered Wheat Beer. It's a classy name. From Boulevard Brewing Company.
It's good. It
is good. It's an unfiltered wheat beer. And it is from Boulevard Brewing Company.
All right.
It's a cool can is what it is. It's black and gold, and I can't read anything on it because it's open. And if
Kansas City,
Kansas
Missouri.
City, there we go. Okay, right on. So shout out to Kansas City for...
Yeah, thanks for the good beer.
Yeah, man. Maybe they'll give us some views on Podbean and light up that map. We don't have Kansas lit up yet. So we're drinking your beer. You can listen to our podcast.
Exactly.
Yes. Free advertisement, all for nothing, because we like stuff.
We do.
What
kind of news you got?
News. Oh, man, you shot me an article and I immediately giggled as soon as I saw the title.
Yeah.
And then I saw the source and I was like, oh yeah, that explains it. So, CosmicBookNews.com. That's CosmicBookNews.com. There's some more free advertisement for you, but you're going to love this. Sucks. Because they put out a terrible, terrible, terrible article, just clickbaity as hell, that was everywhere I looked when I opened up the internet, explaining how Marvel or Disney is getting ready to pull Marvel Comics because it's tanking and blah, 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 blah. Well, if you look at comic book sales, Marvel is winning the race. If it is a race, they're in the lead. So... I think comic book sales are higher than they've been in a very long time, and they're just continuing to climb.
That's good news.
Yeah, it is. So I think the point is that don't believe everything you hear, especially, and really don't believe anything you hear from Cosmic Book News. That site is pure clickbait. It seems like it would be a reputable source because it's got a cool name. It got me. I mean, I obviously knew that was a bad headline. If anything, I continue to follow them just to know what to debunk for you guys.
Fair.
And
I only sent it to you because it was just popped up as one of the recommended news articles.
Yeah.
I just kind of skimmed through it.
It made me sweat for a second because I didn't really look to see immediately that it was Cosmic Book News until I clicked on it. And then when that popped up, I was like, okay. No, I don't even think I need to read this article to debunk it. And I still read the article, which was complete just laughableness.
Comics are in danger, they're cutting back, they're all going to shut down.
Yeah, and it's just over and over you're hearing that. Like we heard the whole thing with DC about, we're cutting back, to New 22. Completely came back debunked.
Right.
Guys, comic books are doing great. I'm not a dumb guy. I wouldn't start doing a comic book podcast in the middle of a decline. Like, I know I'm not single-handedly going to save comics, even though the goal for us is to raise the awareness of comics and help increase numbers. We ain't going to do it on our own. So, but we're also going to do everything we can to discredit the people that are trying to move us backwards. And Cosmic Book News is that place. We're not about talking bad about things, but when it comes to things that are doing absolutely no good for anybody, those journalists are just, I don't know how they sleep at night, man. I really don't. But whatever.
Yeah.
It's the National Enquirer of comic book
Next time
news.
one of their articles pops up, I will read it with a level of skepticism.
As well you should. The other piece of happenings, I think it was just announced today, that Mike Deodato Jr. is leaving Marvel after 20-some years. What is it, like 26 years, I believe? It's a lot of years.
It's a lot of years.
And he's going to... His last project for Marvel will be something extremely exciting. And that's going to be the Savage Avengers, which is just a massive... I mean, it's...
It looks like a fun team.
Conan, Venom, Wolverine, Frank Castle. It's good stuff, man. And a couple... It looks like Elektra's on there. Yeah, good stuff. But that's going to be his farewell after 24 years. And he's going to start... But he's not retiring from comics. It actually gets... This is good news, because now he's going to start working on creator-owned shit.
That's awesome. I'm excited to see what he comes up with.
Yeah, man. This is... Anytime a big name that's been tied to a publisher like that steps away to do creator-owned stuff, you know, that stuff's been brewing up for 24 years, man.
Right.
He's got 24 years of stories that he's been holding back because he doesn't want Marvel to sniff around.
The whole cabinet of unused ideas.
Oh my gosh. So that's great news. That is great news. But I think that's really all the news that I'm going to talk about. We got some giveaways happening. We're almost to the 100 followers on the Twitter.
Thank you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. It was a big boost last week. I didn't expect it to get there this quick. We're not going to lie.
We were our biggest weeks.
Very humbled. It is our biggest week. Very, very, very humbled. So with that being said, we've got a few more, and we have the details on Twitter and all that, but we're giving away the signed Chuck Palahniuk Fight Club 3 #1 variant. And it's even got the little doodle on there that I asked him to draw, and he did it for free for me. But I'm just going to give it away to you guys, because we truly, truly appreciate your stuff. And we have lots of other giveaways, too. And we'll talk more about it at the end, because I don't want to spoil it, because it's all going to tie into this in a very well thought out manner. Just kidding. It just came to me how cool I could tie all this in. So I'm not going to talk about it yet. But there's more giveaway talk to come.
All right.
We're not done giving, baby. We're not done giving.
Anything else before we dive into some delicious books?
No. No, I think... And do you have anything else?
No.
Alright, well, this is the overview for a portion of the books that were read that were released on February 27th.
There's a lot of books out.
There was a lot of books, but we kind of trimmed a little bit of fat this week.
Stuff that we couldn't really dive into, we couldn't really explain, just...
Yeah, it would be straight...
Stuff
just
we
like,
couldn't really chew on.
Yeah, exactly. Not bad stuff by any means, but at the same time, it's just... We got a lot of podcasts, and we don't want to waste any of your guys' valuable time. So, let's dive into it. Fight Club 3, #2, Chuck Palahniuk and Cameron Stewart, covered by David Mack.
Tell me about some Fight Club.
Okay, well, I'll try. This book is very, very weird. You have to be a detective to read all of this. I don't think there's going to be any resolution to anything until the last page of issue 12.
Oh, yeah?
I really don't. I think in the meantime it's going to be a complete mindfuck. That's how Palahniuk rolls. I've come to that conclusion. I have faith in the story. Reading this book month to month is becoming... After just 2 issues, I'm a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, and I've heard it sounds like a good trade book.
Well, but here's the deal: is it's not a good trade book, and Palahniuk came out to explain why you don't wait for this book in trade. When I had the chance to meet him a couple weeks ago, I actually asked him, a couple of questions, and with that, some answers came out to explain the marketing tactic with this book. Mm-hmm. One of them being the calendar that's involved. Through each, as you could see here, through the first issue was January. Now we're in February. It's not it is March, February. Dark Horse will put out their first ever calendar, and it's going to be based off the pages of the issued release book. But more importantly is on the inside cover of every book we have this segment called Ask Misinformation. Mm-hmm. Now at first glance you look at it and you're like, well, this is just random as shit. This is just about some very, very bitter human being of a journalist that's just shitting on humanity and is just very, very jaded and just all about oh, this seems like something Project Mayhem would do. I think, okay, fuck, something might have just dawned on me. I don't know. There's just so much. I read this book 3 times, just like I read issue 1 5 times, and I feel stupid after reading these types of books. But my point with the misinformation part was apparently, as irrelevant as both of these have seemed so far through the first 2 issues, Palahniuk has come out to say that in the trade, they will not be featured in this, and this is a key part to piecing the whole story together. So it's a marketing tactic on top of everything. Dogs. No.
I was going to wait for this one for trade.
You don't. You can't. You can't. Dark Horse got you there. Got us. Got me. I mean, I'm in. I'm a forever follower of Fight Club.
All right, Dark Horse. You hear this? This is the sound of you got me.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, no, it's so there. I do have some frustrations with how they're going about doing this, but at the same time, you got to realize it's Chuck Palahniuk. You're not familiar with Chuck Palahniuk. I'm slightly familiar with Chuck Palahniuk. I know this dude's writing is as unique as it comes. It is very frustrating.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but praise
but
from
at
you
the same
and frustration.
Time, exactly. It's I don't know. I don't know how to put it into a metaphor without sounding completely disgusting. Just like, I mean, it would suit well for a Palahniuk metaphor.
Is this one of those like sadistic joys, kind of like Dark Souls, where you like it frustrates you, but you can't stay away?
Yes, no. This is a book for a masochist reader. Okay. It really is. Yeah. It is. But I have full faith in the payout, though. I do. I think I remember the payout in the end of the movie. You see it's just the best. To me, it's my favorite ending in all of film. Is the ending of Fight Club. When you hear Pixies' "Where Is My Mind" playing as Project Mayhem takes down those buildings. Yeah. Like, that is my favorite ending scene in all of film.
Yeah, it's one of the most memorable, for sure.
So, with that being said, I have faith in the end. It's going to be a long year.
Did he write the script for the movie?
It was all... No, I don't know. I think it was Fincher.
Okay.
I think Fincher directed and wrote it.
Okay.
But it was clearly based off the novel. So, yeah.
Fair? Alright.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, I hate this book. It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. Alright. So, would you recommend it to people out there?
No.
What if they're already Fight Club fans?
If you're a Fight Club fan, absolutely. If you're a follower of Palahniuk, absolutely. But if I were to say, hey, this is what comic books are, I'd lie to you.
Oh no, it doesn't sound anything I've heard like it'd be like, hey, I'm gonna get you into comics, unless maybe you're a huge Fight Club nerd.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that would be the only medium would be through Fight Club, I think, really, or Choke. If you're a fan of Choke, the movie, but this isn't Choke. This is Fight Club. It's different. And Choke was weird, but not nearly as skewed as Fight Club was.
Well, that's kind of Fight Club's whole thing, is to like mess with you. Like, well, what is real? You know, it's about a schizophrenic guy who makes a Fight Club and then a terrorist organization.
And that's so hard to do without a freaking narrator, man, because it's a book. Like, you can't have that voice because you can't decipher the two voices between the two. You can't decipher Brad Pitt and Edward Norton because it's...
Yeah, I mean, with the right lettering, but would that take away from the story?
Exactly.
Because it would take away from the mystery.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's told in a very... It's frustrating, but I like it at the end. I do. I really do. It doesn't sound like I'm sounding sincere. It's just I don't like sounding dumb, and I feel dumb after reading. Just like I felt with Mr. Miracle. As good as it was, it's like, this is just so not comic book.
Maybe I should pick this one up, and then maybe I'll have something to add to the conversation next.
Oh, would
next
you? Because this is somebody.
I
got so
much to catch up on. But yeah. I mean, we're only 3 issues in. Like,
2 issues.
2 issues in.
Yeah.
Okay, we're only 2 issues in.
Yeah.
I can catch up on 2 issues for sure. I can do that tonight.
And there's hardly any dialogue. You just have to really decipher all these panels.
If I can find the back issues, then I will read this.
I hope to send you home with them. I think I have a book around here that's not signed by Palahniuk somewhere.
Perfect. I don't have to take one of your good ones.
Let's move on to...
Let's do it.
Image Comics.
Gary Whitta at it again.
And Derek Robertson, along with Diego Rodriguez. And Derek Robertson did this cover. Oliver #2 from Image Comics. This was your recommendation that caught me on.
Yeah, I like Whitta's writing.
You want to flip through this? You could be the man in charge. I got my notes here.
So we start off with one of the men from the camp on the previous one.
Starts out hardcore. Just immediate hardcore chase
got
scene,
him running,
violence.
sweating, and we've got this like SWAT tactical. They almost look like, well, they look like TIE fighter pilots, really. But they're chasing him down. They shoot him in the kneecap and they catch him, and they have a quick little interrogation scene. And now we know why all these same-looking men were in this ratty little town. Apparently, the world isn't a post-apocalyptic event. Apparently, these were people who were, what do they call them? Intravenous, or intro...
IVCs.
Intravital... something. Yeah.
They're IVCs.
They're clones. I mean, they were created for combat.
They were
Whatever
made, they
war
weren't born. Like, they're test tube dudes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever war they had is done, and now they are a danger to society, so they're all kept in not quite a concentration camp, but their own little settlement where they're forced to work and barely paid.
But it's a nuclear fallout center, and because of their genetics, they're able to withstand this environment, which is the key separation of all.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why Oliver's part in here is so key, is because he's a halfling, which is completely condemned, kill on sight. Yeah.
So we got them in interrogation. So he broke out. He escaped, and there's only one punishment for that, and that's death.
Mm-hmm.
But he says he has information, so he's willing to squeal.
Oh, he squeals. Oh, and then and he's got the chip in him, and
he cut that out.
Yeah.
So, long story short, they have a quick conversation. Apparently, he spills the beans about Oliver. Oliver, as we now find out, is a half-breed. He is half IVC with a normal human woman.
This is 2 years. This issue takes 2 years after the first issue.
Only 2 years, and he's already full-grown man. So, some kind of like
a young man, but.
Well, I mean...
But it goes to show that he is...
about 17, 18, like...
And he was like 7 or 9 in the first issue.
Right.
So, I mean, it's in 2 years, he's aged like 8 years.
Right.
So you like, by them timing that out, you realize, what's up with this kid?
He's growing way too quickly.
Yeah.
Well, now we found out that maybe that's part of their genetic coding for these, if you have to pump out weapons, you want them to be ready quick.
Yep.
So, apparently... They have a little dialogue because Oliver decides to shave his head because he looks like everybody else.
Okay, so Prospero is pretty much the guy that is allowing Oliver to still be alive. Because normally what they do,
figure in this whole story.
It's his father figure. Normally what happens is, in the last issue, Oliver overheard Prospero talking to one of these IVCs about how they should have dumped him in the river like they do everyone else. But it's also it's also on the first...
Right, when the other guys were saying that.
Yeah. So he refers to that conversation on how he had heard that and blah, blah, blah. So with that, he now Oliver is older and he's talking to Prospero and he was like, well, where's all this, how are we eating every day? Like, I want to know what you do for work.
Yeah, what do you do for a living?
Yeah, and he's like, I don't think you want to know. And he's like, nah, I want to know. He's like, you can never come. I mean, look at your pretty hair and like... So he just goes and he shaves his head. He's like, now I look like one of you. Because they're all bald. They're all like they're clearly all genetically modified.
They're clones. He might come out and have a more elaborate way to call them, but yeah, they're clones.
Yeah, but at the same time, they still have some distinguishable features from themselves.
Missing eye and scars. Yeah.
It's based off scarring pretty much. But that's cool. That's a cool thing that I enjoy about them bringing clones in. You could still distinguish clones apart from each other.
A lot of the people do kind of just blend in the background, but the ones they really want to introduce you who have an impact,
key to character design.
Similar. I mean, they're distinguishable.
Key to character design. All right.
So anyway, so he does shave his head, and he goes to work at the factory with him.
Oh, and this is when it gets dope.
With his father figure, Prospero.
The most iconic moment in Oliver Twist, the story of Oliver Twist.
Right. So they're working hard, and they get back to the table, and they're eating for their lunch break. And one of the guys comes back with an empty bowl. This dispenser jammed again. And he's like, well, why don't you just go ask them for more food? He's like, no, we don't do that. So he grabs an empty bowl and stands up and starts walking over to the big, burly, muscled-out, BDM kind of guy.
Please, sir.
Yeah. Like, please, excuse me, sir. We want some more. And, he's like, what did you say? We want some more food. And this guy, is about ready to kick his butt.
But no, he hits the guy that doesn't...
Well, another guy comes up and interrupts him like, please, sir. Right, he's just, he doesn't know what he's doing. Bam! Butts him with the end of his rifle. And, there's a little battle that ensues.
Well, Oliver reacts, and he just takes down the... He doesn't just beat down this guard.
Kid.
He killed him, easily.
Yeah, he just whipped his gun, fought him, and got his arm cut, and still just annihilated this dude.
Prospero and his buddy gets him out, and he's like, we gotta get, this is not shit.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and that's pretty much kind of where we're left off.
I love this scene where, he's being choked out by the guy, and his eyes are glowing red. And Oliver is, he's a warrior, man.
Oh, and there's also another reveal, that his mother didn't die. His mother's still alive somewhere. Right.
So, Oliver is told to run home, and that they will deal with it. You see them dragging the body of the guard away. And Prospero gets home, and they're having this conversation, like, well, does your arm hurt? Yeah, a little bit. Wait, it's already healed. That's not natural, like, even for us. And they have a conversation, and Oliver says, hey, so do you want to talk to me about what happened? If I say I didn't hear you, are you still going to keep lying to me, or do you still think you should throw me in the river? And so he starts spilling the beans, like, yeah, you came here, your mother brought you here because you weren't supposed to happen. You are not allowed to be in the outside world. This is what we are. And he shows him his chest, and he's got a 4 on it. He's Generation 4. Well, Oliver, pulls down his shirt, and he's got this like tattoo-looking thing on his chest of a 5, Roman numerical 5.
Oh yeah,
the version 5, which is the latest and greatest, the meanest and most dangerous of these IVC clones. Then they keep having the conversation. It's like, well, your mother didn't die. She left you a note. When we came back to find her the next day, she was already gone. She left you a note.
Table flip.
You know why I've done what I've done to protect you. You might not have to agree with it, but you know why I did it. Before you storm out of here and damn your mother, know why she did it. And Oliver takes the note, but he ain't having it.
Nope, fire.
He throws that note right into the fire. And he storms off. He's angry. He's an angry young man.
Yes, he is.
That's the end of it.
Oh, they grow up so fast.
They really do. 2 weeks, man, or 2 months, and man, already so old.
This book's dope though. I didn't think that I would like a Charles Dickinson adaptation, especially of like Oliver Twist. Not gonna lie, I never really gave a damn about the story. But when you put a twist on it, no pun intended, this particular twist is it's delightful.
Like I said,
and you got Derek Robinson though. Like I already told you, my infatuation with that dude.
Fair. And I've got Gary Whitta. I'm a big fan of his. And then you throw in a classic British story, and let him have a good run with it. Yeah. So far, it's paying out. I'm enjoying this. If you guys haven't read Oliver, go read Oliver. It's awesome.
Indeed. Moving on, more Image Comics. El hombre de helado número 10 son las Image Comics. Why did I do that in Spanish, you may ask? Because this book is in Spanish! Sorry, I didn't mean to scream in there, but this book is in Spanish. I had to learn Spanish for this book, and it straight up says, in the title page, did you read this?
I did not, no.
Okay, good. Because you would have had to have learned Spanish. And I'm not kidding. Need help with Spanish? Google Translate works like a charm, is what it says.
Oh, the dicks.
So, ironically, this is the book I chose to talk about Ice Cream Man, because I realize this is a series of one-shots. That makes this so much more, okay, I don't have to worry about what's going on here.
Okay.
This is cool. I guess 1 through 8 does have a tie-in, somehow, but overall it is a series of one-shots.
Okay.
Number 9 was the cowboy one. I was like, I don't know what to say because I'll feel stupid because I don't know what's going on. Doesn't matter, it's a one-shot. This one here, another one-shot. This is cool though. So this takes place in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico in 1919. And we have, and I'm not, the first few pages of the majority of this book is actually in Spanish until you get about, well, I guess it felt like forever because I had to retype everything into Google Translate. So you get about the 4th page in, and finally, we get one of the characters going, speak English. And I was like, oh, let's just do that now. So they do. But they wanted to definitely...
You made it sound so much worse. I mean, I'm sure that was a lot of work, having to type all that in, but
I
thought
really
the whole
is.
thing was in Spanish.
What makes me mad is at first I was like, oh, I remember a little bit of Spanish. I bet I can get through this. No, these are all the words I didn't remember.
Right.
And you can't, when you're putting in the Google Translate, you can't just, take out the parts you don't know. You have to put it all in there, otherwise the context doesn't work well.
Definitely,
yeah, no, it's...
So you've mastered the language. At this point, you don't need Google Translate.
Yeah. And I actually got the variant cover on this too. I didn't realize this is a dope cover. So, let me shout out to W. Maxwell Prince, Martin Marazzo, and Chris O'Halloran. Cover by Juan Ferreira.
That is a great cover.
It really is an amazing cover. So, our Ice Cream Man bad evildoer is a Mexican. If I would have had to guess, I'd say like some sort of crime lord or something. He'd be running shit. Well, he's got a daughter. It's her quinceañera, and it just so happens to be falling on the Dia de los Muertos, and I guess it's bad luck to host another party that's not Dia de los Muertos related on Dia de los Muertos. So with here, the Ice Cream Man or father figure is just incredibly creepy during this whole thing. And not creepy in like a perverted way. It's just a very scary way, the way he's acting towards his daughter, and he's pretty much like damning her towards just not feeling good, for lack of better words.
You know, like, how dare you be born on this day of a different celebration?
Right.
Huh.
Well, kinda, yeah. So, I'm not totally certain, but the more important part of the story is that she has this secret boyfriend, who's this Texas cowboy.
Yeehaw.
And comes up to save her. And when he goes to save her, the father figure, Ice Cream Man, steps in, and he ends up killing him.
The father.
The father kills the kid.
Oh, her boyfriend. Gotcha.
I believe so. Here, let me just double check that. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this part's all in English. So. So that's what it. He's threatening the boy by holding the knife to his daughter's throat, and the boy pulls out a gun to try to save him. And this is the cool part: is the dialogue here, or the monologue from the Ice Cream Man. He said, "You can't kill me. I'm an idea. You can't kill an idea with a bullet." So the kid shoots him anyways, and he like backs off or whatever. And when he oh man, it's good. The girl goes to run to the kid, and
her boyfriend, yeah.
Right, her boyfriend, and then Ice Cream Man gets up in a sadistic way, stabs the kid, and at this point you get the dying moment of whatever, and then you get the Romeo and Juliet side. Like, you see the kid, he's obviously dead, walking in the afterlife, and he opens the door, and the girl's there. It's just like, oh, I couldn't, blah, blah, blah.
I couldn't go on without you, mi amore.
So it's a Mexican Romeo and Juliet without the family feud and all of that. But it was enjoyable. At first I was taken back. I was like, did I get a misprint here? But as soon as it said Google Translate works well, I was like, what did you do?
You dicks!
I got so much to do, guys!
Hey, thanks for champing through that, man. That sounds like an interesting story.
I grinded it out, and I feel much more confident talking to you folk about Ice Cream Man now. I am waiting for 1 through 8 to come out in trade, because after
Me too.
9 and 10 is crazy and is weird and obscure and different from each other they were. It shows that W. Maxwell Prince can create the same character over and over and put him in a different environment and setting and make the character continuously interesting.
Right.
And this is actually an idea that I personally have been kicking around in my head as far as that concept. Now, obviously not the Ice Cream Man, but I was like, I wish there were a book out there that worked like this. And then lo and behold, I come across El Hombre de Helado.
Yes, I don't really know anything in specific about Ice Cream Man. I just know from the ravings I've read on Reddit. That's why I recommended it to you. I'm like, everything I'm reading sounds like it would be right up your alley.
And it has been. And I do not regret learning a new 40-word vocabulary in a language that I should probably know anyways.
Right.
So, yeah. Shall we move on to Marvel?
Let's do it.
Marvel Comics, West Coast Avengers, number 8, Kelly Thompson, Gary Hyuk-Lin, covered by Edward Petrovich. This is a book that you're thoroughly enjoying that I recommended for you.
Yeah, it's just a fun read. I like the dialogue. I like all the interactions between all the characters. And come on,
Jeff the baby land shark.
Exactly.
Stealing
and Gwen.
The show.
Man.
I'm gonna say it again. We need a Gwen, Gabby, Jeff, and Jonathan Like, it just rolls off the tongue. Glenn, Gabby, Jeff, and Jonathan. You got two G's, and you can call it G2, J2. Bam. Marvel, pay me, please. It doesn't even have to be much. I'll take a couple nickels. Just make this happen.
You gonna rub them together?
I will.
Alright.
I will. I don't think anything will happen, though, because magic isn't real.
That's true.
So, yes. This book is pretty much just really the epitome of what this whole series has been. It is the team being followed around by camera crews, and they're going about their day-to-day as normal superheroes do.
You know, if you had told me the idea of this, I would have hated it. But the way it plays out, I like this whole real-world West Coast Avengers.
Yeah, yeah. So we get a split up here. I mean, the team goes on this... they're going to find out where Kate's mom is being held, I believe. And they have to split up and disguise themselves to do so. And Hawkeye goes on his own. And then America, Chavez, and Kate Bishop split up. And Choir, and everyone has their task. And it's really just a montage of... think Scooby-Doo. That's what I got out of this book, was Scooby-Doo. In the best way possible. Like,
yeah?
If Hanna-Barbera came to Marvel and they're like, give us one thing, Marvel, the thing that would make the most sense would be like, you can have West Coast Avengers. And that's kind of how I feel about this.
Okay.
And I mean that in the best way possible. This does not feel like a regular... It feels like a cartoon being told in a comic book way. I feel like this is an adaptation of a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah,
that's my take on it.
Okay, that's an interesting take.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's fun. Unfortunately, this book is going to be ending at issue 16, I believe. Oh yeah, and there's vampires.
Okay, so we still get 8 more. I mean, yeah, boo, that's getting canceled, but at least I have a couple more to look forward to.
Yeah, it's like 12 or 16, but yeah, no, it's ending soon.
I don't want to see Kelly Thompson writing dialogue for everybody, but I love it here.
No, that's good. This is a really fun book. It's mainly female driven, but at the same time it's a very interesting trinity. I mean, Gwenpool, America, and Kate, that's very opposite folk.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a fun story though. Yeah, there's a lot of diversity in there, but it's not shoving it down your throat. It feels very real, or it is just natural.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is a book that the comic skaters are going to be lighting the fire, and
I don't think so.
No, I think it's just a fine book. It's a very fine book, and I could totally see a massive audience for it. I'm even a part of it, surprisingly, because I didn't think I would be, and I'm still on board. I'm going to finish it up. I'll own the whole volume, because that's
what you do.
It's what I do. Daredevil. What am I at, number 2 already?
Number 2, Legacy number 614.
Sweet. No Fear, Part 2. Chip Zdarsky, Marco Cicchetto, and Sonny Go. Julian Totino Tedesco. Oh, that's a warm-up word for you.
Yeah.
On the cover, this cover's been... Oh, man, it's a good cover. Don't know how to explain this book other than this is exactly what I would hope would continue out of the previous Daredevil story. It left off last time. Everyone was under the belief that Daredevil had killed a guy. Daredevil don't kill no dudes. Daredevil didn't kill a dude. This guy, Cole, has set out to find Daredevil. He's Detective Cole, and he goes to Fisk to help him find out. Daredevil seems to think, his first reaction is, well, Fisk is setting this whole thing up.
Right. And
you're led to believe that at the end.
Yeah, that's the knee-jerk reaction for sure.
At the end of issue 1, it's kind of like the cliffhanger, but as it turns out, there's somebody else behind all of this, and I don't think we know yet, right? They don't reveal that, do they? I don't remember. No.
I read the last one, but I didn't read this one. Didn't get around to it this week.
Yeah. No, there's somebody else behind all this, and while Daredevil's trying to figure it out, Detective Cole's like, I knew it was you, Daredevil, and he shoots him. And so Daredevil gets shot. This poor guy is just getting Dude, I'm telling you, some bulletproof armor would do this guy a world of good. Some
Heck
truck-proof armor, semi-truck-proof armor
A little
would...
Weapon X serum, something.
Get this guy damn superpowers.
Yeah. Other than blind sight.
Yeah. He's gonna get some cosmic abilities in War of the Realms. But in the meantime, this poor guy, Matt Murdock's taking a damn beating, and this is very, very... synonymous with how I feel like the show would be continuing on, to be honest. It's a very gritty, dark story, as Daredevil should be.
A Matt down on his luck.
This is, Hell's Kitchen is very, like, Gotham-like.
Oh yeah,
seemingly.
that's a very fair comparison. Yeah.
And it's Chip Zdarsky. Sorry, I'm never going to be able to pronounce that correctly. At least gives it that tone. And Marco Cicchetto draws that tone. I can't praise that dude's pencils enough. I think he's the greatest thing to grace Marvel in the last 2 years as far as pencils go. When he did with Old Man Hawkeye, it was next level.
I know you're a huge fan.
Yeah, and now that I know he's getting an ongoing, and it's Daredevil of all,
Yeah,
maybe
your
I'm just
favorite boy.
automatically biased and love this book no matter what, just because, like I said, Cicchetto's pencils are godly. But other than that, even Chip Zdarsky, he's a legend. He's a comic book legend. To get this title, this is just a match made in heaven. And this isn't anything extremely heavy for a story. There's no weight that's been happening. This is Daredevil just, okay, I'm Daredevil again. Gotta be the best me I could be, and do this tactfully, let everybody know I'm about. Whoops, I slipped, because naturally I would slip. I just got out of the damn hospital by getting hit by a truck.
Yep.
So it's very believable. It's very believable. He doesn't jump out the hospital window and pull the IV from him and he's flipping around like frickin' Spider. No, the dude's like slipping off ledges.
He learned to walk again.
Yeah, exactly. So, very, very well done book. Very well done. I'm excited for it to tie in with some new characters. I'm not going to lie. I'm already waiting for the Frankie Castle.
Yeah.
But that's just the Daredevil I love is Frank and Daredevil. But yeah, let's move along. More Avengers, No Road Home, number 3 of this 10-part weekly series, legacy number 710, and the Avengers line. Written by Al Ewing, Jim Zub, and Mark Waid. Art by Paco Medina, Juan Blasco, and Jesus Albatrov. The cover by Yasmin Putri. Who that green dude on the cover? That's Nightmare. We'll talk about Nightmare. Did you read this?
I did.
Cool. I know that you were a little overwhelmed when you found out it was 10 issues weekly. I thought you were going to drop it.
Marvel event, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, buddy, the Marvel event is...
They never end. Well, those number ones, they sell.
Oh, man. When you see the list for War of the Realms, that event, like, you will be overwhelmed. Ooh. I'm overwhelmed. I think just in War of the Realms numbers alone in Marvel in the month of May, $115 in books. Just in War of the Realms events for Marvel. That doesn't include the other 75% of Marvel titles I subscribe to, on top of all of the indies in DC.
Yep.
So, May gonna be expensive, and I do believe that this event is going to run for a couple of months at least. So I would just get used to...
Pucker up.
Oh, I'm ready. And at some point I'll let you know where you could find a full detailed review of my own about that event. But in the meantime, let's talk about all the leading up stuff. And Avengers No Road Home apparently is going to heavily, at some point, tie into all of this. So, let's talk about it. So Rocket wakes up from, he's like being operated on like this horrific type of, I don't know, setting. What's the word I'm looking for? But this robot dude, he's got the lasers on him and...
Yep.
Yeah.
Fighting his way out of his own personal nightmare.
Yeah, and then you realize, okay, and
he
then
breaks out and finds the Hulk choking out Clint.
Because that's where we left off in the last issue, because Hulk's just telling Clint, like, oh yeah, nah, come with this, just don't be alone, on account of I remember how you shot me in the frickin' brain.
Yep.
And then they had that moment in the end, and then Rocket saves the day, kinda.
Put him down.
Yeah. But, for whatever reason, Hulk listens, because he did also say that when we're alone, they're not alone.
Well,
So-
and Hulk, obviously smarter than he lets on. He's like, well, someday you'll be in a real hospital. Clint's like, wait, a real hospital? This isn't a real hospital? Count your fingers, smart man.
Yeah, because he was like missing fingers.
He's missing a thumb.
Yeah, and they back now. And yeah, so then it indicates this is all a nightmare. And then this guy shows up named Nightmare. That's suiting.
Who'd have thunk?
He's a guy in green on a dark mare.
Yeah, a fiery horse.
Where do they come up with this stuff? And then it switches over to the other portion of this new Avengers team where we've got Spectrum and Vision and Hercules and Wanda, who just had her eye holes poked out. You realize that whole doing wasn't to make sure Wanda can't see. It made it so that
She is now the eyes of Nyx.
Nyx can see through her.
Yep.
And we get an introduction to the children of hers that were mentioned in the previous issue.
Yeah, they're at this cosmic knowledge library, and they're talking to the librarian, and they want answers. They want to find this MacGuffin, and kind of find out there was a crystal of, what was it called? The crystal of no tomorrow or something like that.
Something like that.
And that's what they're looking for. But Scarlet Witch is able to see that.
So that's not one of Nyx's shards that were separated out?
I think it is. It is.
Okay,
I can't
so
remember.
all of the shards have their own specific name? Is
yeah.
that what I'm getting?
Seems to be.
Okay, well, seemingly. They can't just call them black and blue and green and yellow. Okay. So what was the name of this one that you said?
I think they're all called the same thing. I think they're the shards of...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just got soul shards here, but... Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Yeah, soul shards is just so much easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, carry on.
But that's how we find out that, Wanda's eye is the eyes of Nyx, because as soon as she sees that, these other two goons of Nyx pop in and, thanks for telling us where it's at. We've got it from here.
Yeah, we meet one of her sons, Hypnos. He's a sleep guy, and that ties into Nightmare's whole thing. So there's some sort of positive, negative magnetism, what they're working. Yeah, so somehow things don't work because those two are butts. So,
okay.
Yeah, for lack of words. There's no way to tell you what's going on here without telling you the story.
Yeah.
So,
well, we do have this, what seems to be a battle between Nightmare, Clint, Raccoon, and Hulk, but comes to find out, Nightmare actually needs help. Because he's not as powerful as he thinks he was, and he needs their help to protect the shard, or get it at least away from his realm, because he ain't going to win that battle.
You're right. And then we reveal that in the library the shard was closer than they thought.
Yep.
The librarian was hiding
it under his beard, around
under
his neck.
beard. And then when Scarlet Witch, quote unquote, sees that, you realize, and then Nyx sends her two other goons by the names of Apate and Dolos, and they're the gods of deceit and trickery.
Mm-hmm.
So they come Tweedledee and Thing 1 and Thing 2 and all up in there, throwing knives and whatnot. Who gets stabbed? Hercules gets stabbed.
And it makes him rage.
Oh, now he's a mad
Hercules.
Hercules.
Because what was it, the blades of deceit or lies or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
So now he's like, now I see. The Avengers failed to save Olympus, so I will kill them and bring balance.
Yeah.
And next issue.
Yeah, that's where it leaves off. It was a strange issue. I mean, it's carrying on with the story just fine.
Yeah.
I just have no idea where they're going with this. Bring on Conan already, damn it. I know it's coming. So,
I think we've got a little while to wait still.
Yeah, we got 3 or 4 more issues, I think, in this before Conan. Because he's going to join in this. This is the series to jump on if you want the first appearance of Conan as an Avenger. It's going to be in this series. So I just don't know when. I just can't wait to see the dynamic with Conan and Hercules. Well, let's keep this rolling. We're moving pretty quick right now. More Marvel Superior Spider-Man number 3 Legacy 36. Christos Gage, Mike Hawthorne, Wade Von Grawbadger, and Jordy Belair. Cover by Travis Terrest. So, have you been reading Superior?
I have not. I fell off that bandwagon.
So through 3 issues, I can say I was borderline announcing this. I may have unofficially announced it, but I can officially say that of the abundance of Spidey titles, Cosmic Spider-Man is my favorite now. It is a cool version of Spider-Man.
Cosmic Spider-Man.
I mean Superior Spider-Man is what I mean to say. But in this book, we get Cosmic Spider-Man. How's that happen? Well, he took a piece of Terrax, who's the bad guy, what he is fighting, has been. You know, I don't think I want to spoil anything in this book, to be honest, just because of how much I enjoyed it. We get a really cool interaction. I don't even think I could explain it and do it justice. The fact is that Otto, or I forget what his new alias is, but Superior Spider-Man, yeah, it's Otto. He is he's a whole different version of Spider-Man with Spider-Man. He's a smarter version, but at the same time, he's still got Spider-Man qualities. It's not just a whole different character wearing a spider suit.
Sure.
Kinda is, but at the same time, you still get the qualities of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy this thoroughly. Terrax was an OP bad guy, and I like how at first I thought maybe Christos Gage could have wrote himself in a quarter immediately. You know, like he just kind of brought in like this Thanos type of character right off the bat.
Oh boy, yeah.
And I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but still pretty freaking hardcore. And he beats him with brains, straight up brains, and teamwork. So I thought it was a great Spider-Man story that I didn't think it was a type of Spider-Man story that could exist.
So what sets this one up above all the other Spider-Man?
The dialogue that comes from Otto. I find it a very relatable, and I don't mean to say that I'm the smartest guy. I don't think I'm the smartest guy, but I have a lot of confidence in myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that's the one thing that this guy really has. Not that Peter doesn't have confidence. I just like the way that this confidence is portrayed. Comes off as cocky, but at the same time he backs his damnness up. And it's just cool how he goes about things. He beats you with the brain, and I really enjoy. He's got all the brawn in the world, more than regular Spider-Man, and he continues to win with his mind.
Yeah, awesome.
And that's what I find the most attractive about any character. Usually my villains. It's kind of ironic, I guess, that Otto used to be a villain.
Yeah.
So it works that way. It's my taste. It's my taste. It's my flavor. Superior Spider-Man, out of all the books, is my flavor of Spider-Man. So don't stop doing this stuff. Not that I don't love Friendly Neighborhood, which is a completely different version.
Sure.
And Miles Morales is fun in a very different way. Amazing Spider-Man is... It's true to Spider-Man, for sure. And then we got, Gwen. Gwen's great. That story's still developing. I think it's still in the threshold of... Into the Spider-Verse. I think they're still trying to shake the cobwebs off.
Bad.
Yeah. Spiders don't even lay cobwebs, bro.
Well, moving along.
No, let's talk about that more.
Well, see, when spiders do the thing...
Fantastic Four, number 7, Legacy 652. Did you read Fantastic Four?
I did.
Sweet. Dan Slott, Aaron Cooter, and Marte Garcia. And the cover's by Astad Rabik. I hope I've been saying that right for the last 7 issues. It's been amazing. This one's continuously amazing. It's got everything you want on a Fantastic Four cover. You got Galactus and Doom and Mr. Fantastic.
That's the one thing they had to do to pull me on board is have Victor Von Doom show up.
This is Doom at his doomiest. And you would only hope that the resurrection of the doomiest Doom would come in a Fantastic Four book.
Right, classic.
And I'll be damned. Because for a while, a lot of people, including myself, may have argued that Brian Michael Bendis may have possibly ruined the villain that is Doom by making him an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, Doom's Doom, man. He's so back. He's manipulating Galactus. He's 10 steps ahead of Mr. Fantastic. Oh, there's a lot of greatness going on here. There's Johnny Storm. Like, I bring back the Nova Blast. That's cool. Yep. It's just a classic. Hey, remember everything that we haven't been telling in Fantastic Four for so many years? Fantastic Four hasn't been a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the 7th issue, and this is your Fantastic Four, and all of its Fantastic Four glory. And this is another
very true to character.
This is another one of those books where I don't think I could explain it without telling it panel for panel.
Yeah, Doom has a plan. He said he's not really the bad guy. They need to defeat Galactus. He's got a plan, but they all have to work together. They all do what he says. But lo and behold, he's not really trying to turn Galactus back into good guy Galactus. He wants to use him as a power source. And everybody on the Fantastic Four team is now illegally in his country, and there's only one punishment for that: execution. And book. I mean, but the way it plays out is very true to character. Yes, no, this is
what I was hoping for. I was never a Fantastic Four fan, just because I feel like cinematically it kind of ruined this team.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie, kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. Hasn't been comics in a long time with these guys. But now that they're back, it took a few issues. Like, we had to do like a whole wedding thing to start out. Wasn't sure if that was the right way to go, but as it turns out, it works perfectly.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
I've never been the biggest Fantastic Four fan, but they've always had like some of the best villains.
Doom and Galactus, man. I mean, I'm sure Silver Surfer is going to be showing up eventually. So
almost count on it.
Yeah, no, I very, 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 very much recommend this book, and I feel like you could almost jump on it any time so far. It's kind of been like that. They do a great job of wrapping up what the hell's going on. They tie in the emotion of everything. Segues very nicely, even though it's a monthly book. So, shout out to this team.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers indeed. I got one more Marvel book that I need to talk about. Hold it. We get a Craven story, The Amazing Spider-Man. Hey, we were talking about him. Number 16, Legacy 817.
Never heard of him.
Spider who? Nick Spencer, Ryan Otley, Alberto Albuquerque, Cliff Rathburn, and Laura Martin, along with Carlos Lopez and Brian Reber. I don't know how to pronounce my own name right. That's not my name, that's his name, but I share the same letter combination.
Brian Wayne.
Golly. My pen was going out, is what I'm going to go with. Cover by Lily Hamner and Justin Ponser. And so, this is cool, because we get two stories in one. Did you read this?
No, I really should, especially since I'm a big fan of Ryan Otley.
Now would be the time to jump on this, because we're going to get a really cool arc. Yeah. We're going to get a really cool arc. It starts out with a Craven origin story. And it's a really cool origin, I'm not going to lie. And that might even be the only part I'm going to talk about this book, because the second part there leaves a lot of questions and everything.
Okay.
So the first half of this book, there is no Spider-Man whatsoever. We get Craven. He's a breeding fool.
Mm-hmm.
He's got all these kids that he's trying to turn into the perfect hunters, and we get like this, montage. And then one day he comes home, and he finds the bodies of all of his dead kids.
Uh-oh.
Except for one. And it's one of his sons who slaughtered all of his kids. And you get this moment, he gets this tear in his eye, and you're like, oh shit. He's about to kill his son.
He's proud, isn't he?
He's so proud. He's so proud. He's like, oh, I did it. I made the perfect one. I got a good one. And he's like trying to tell, he's training his son. It's like, all these people that want to wear the skin of the animal and not know the way of the animal. So you get this reference to how the last Spider-Man issue ended with the capture of Rhino rolling up to Craven, and he's seeing all these other, you get Scorpion and Tarantula and blah blah blah.
Mm.
So Rhino is capturing all of these animal quote unquote villains to be released by and to be hunted by all of the billionaire CEOs.
The most dangerous game, but with animal
villains.
Yeah.
We get a moment where in the beginning, in the origin story, we also get Craven. He comes across like one of the big game hunters, one of the billionaires.
Right.
That's just like, all these animals are, laid out in front of you. There's no hunt involved, and you think Craven's gonna punish this billionaire, and he's like, no, I'm gonna take you under my wing, and you're gonna be a hunter. And you're like, say what? Well, he's gathering all of these billionaires to hunt these evil, or these poacher villains, or not poacher villains, but
right.
He's like the anti-hero in all of this. It's very weird.
Huh.
It's strange, man, but it's good. It's a
No,
Craven
it sounds
story.
interesting. It sounds like I would like it.
It's brutal. And the fact that I was able to tell you that much without opening even the book tells me that this story really stuck with me. You get a whole side of, we get the raising of, the little baby Craven, and you get to tie in with how Taskmaster and Black Ant have been kidnapping all of these.
Man,
it's well
you had
told.
to mention Taskmaster. Alright, I have to pick it up.
Yeah, man. And then it flashes to the second part of the story where we get Lizard Man's son is trying to not be a lizard boy, so he's just trying to be a real boy. And meanwhile, Peter Parker's got the flu, and MJ's trying to give him the make him better. Jeez, words. And then it kind of goes back and forth to where this little lizard boy is trying to make himself into the world without, or he's looking for somebody or something like that. It goes into a club, and then he gets exposed by all these people that don't like lizard people. Naturally.
I'm sure there's plenty.
And then Spider-Man realizes that, I have a feeling I should go to work, and cold or no cold, I gotta go. And then Mary Jane's like, go get him, you sniffly tiger. And he carries on, and we get the whole battle of Taskmaster and Black Ant capturing the lizard boy, because that's what they're out doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's capturing animal people, and it's all tying in very nicely. I prefer the Craven part of the story without Spider-Man in the beginning, because the second part, it's not as emotionally tying. I think that I actually should have done this backwards. Started out with Spider-Man, and then moved into the Craven, blah, blah, blah. They could have done it either way. It both played well. Personally, I would have liked to have ended on the Craven note.
Yeah.
Because I just thought it was the heavier story.
Yeah, it sounds interesting for sure.
Yeah. No, this was a good book.
That's my ever-growing list.
If you're gonna jump on Amazing Spider-Man issue 17 or 16 would be the one. It's the prelude to 17. So.
Well, you said enough keywords for me to want to read it.
What were those keywords?
You mentioned the whole thing about Craven, you mentioned Taskmaster, and you mentioned Ryan Otley.
Yeah.
Alright.
Ryan Otley he's an amazing penciler. We got him back. We didn't get him in the last issue. That's why I was kind of taken back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys need a break. And
for sure.
Amazing Spider-Man's gone bi-weekly. That's crazy. For an artist to put out that quality of work bi-weekly, give this guy a freaking vacation, man. He could go a couple issues. It's okay. I forgive him. Do you have any more Marvel?
Yeah, Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America indeed. I actually did read this book. You suggested it to me last second. And
there was a couple things I think you might like about it.
And there were a couple things that I did enjoy about it.
We've got issue 8, Legacy number 712. We've got Ta-Nehisi Coates and Adam Kubert, along with Frank Martin.
Yeah, that's
another beautiful Alex Ross cover.
Another beautiful Alex Ross cover.
Man.
Golly. It's so good. So we're getting a prison scene here, and I have a feeling this heavily ties into the Secret Empire story arc.
So Captain America, presumed to be dead. There's the evil Captain America, Hail Hydra, all that stuff. Well, now Captain America's back. The world doesn't trust him. He no longer is that symbol of hope. Well, Theodore Thaddeus Ross was murdered.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Thunderbolt Ross was murdered. And Captain America is the lead suspect. Well, previously we talked about Strucker, Von Strucker.
Yeah, Baron Von Strucker.
He has his own prison. Well, this is the same prison that the evil Hydra Captain America was on, but he escaped. Now we have our Captain America in Strucker's prison, and it's a little bit of an inner dialogue for Steve Rogers about how this isn't quite the prison he thought it would be. He thought it would be a lawless Arkham type of situation. He didn't say Arkham, I did, but instead, there is order. And the way Strucker keeps the order is that once a day he will pick an inmate, probably at random, maybe not, and he whoops the floor with them, just annihilates them, kills them, whatever he does to them, and he airs it all over the prison. Everybody knows that their day is coming.
Wow, that's some
and he picks
stuff,
Bulldozer, Bulldozer who could tear a man in half, and you have Strucker just whipping him. Breaks his hand here. You see that?
So does it give him a fair chance, or does you're out there in chains while you're getting the
Oh no,
shit
no,
kicked
like
out of you.
he just opens up your cell and it's your time to go and
Like
whap, whap, whap.
You're given a fair chance.
Like he doesn't chain him up. Like he goes toe to toe with him.
Oh, Von Strucker's
I'm gonna do this a little bit out of order. So we have that part, and then we have Captain America in the cafeteria. One of the guys says, mind if I sit with you? Captain America's like, no, I thank you, but I don't need to, socialize with you guys. It's like, well, you think you're better than us, but we all know what you really did. I didn't kill Ross. Sure, you might say that, and maybe you didn't even do it, but the world thinks you did it. You're not Captain America anymore. You're Captain No One.
So I take it none of this plays into the current Marvel timeline. This is all like in between whatever the aftermath of Secret Empire and then before he becomes an Avenger again is what I'm gathering out of all this.
Yeah, that's what I would take. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, we get some good cameos in this one. We kind of get like a who's who of different Hydra and villains from the day. I like it. But then another part of this is we've got your boy Fisk.
We do.
And he's talking to Miss Carter. Miss Carter says, Ross was killed in the city of New York. You're the mayor of New York, and nothing happens in the city without your knowing. Fisk is saying, well, I wish it wasn't true.
Poor Thunderbolt.
Again, pulling the whole anti-hero Victor Von Doom kind of angle, like, oh no, I'm a hero of the people.
He's like, oh, I don't even go by Kingpin. Or she mentions, like, I know you don't go by Kingpin, but I think we kind of know.
Yeah, like, Fisk, you're Kingpin. No. And so she blackmails him a little bit. She's got some photos saying, what do you know about all this? And he denies it all.
No, I don't know what the photos are, though. We don't know what the photos are.
Me neither, but he does hand her a flash drive. We don't know what's on that either.
Oh, man. Double whammy blackmail.
So we'll get some more. And this comic ends off.
That's the Fiskus thing, though. Like, you're not... You think if you got dirt on Fisk, he doesn't have twice as much dirt on you? He's going to make sure that dirt doesn't come out. So that's well writing for my boy. And anytime he's ever on a page, I'm going to dissect the shit.
Yeah.
Because I know what Fisk should sound like. I know what he would do.
I think this is
I know
a good
every move that he
Fisk
would make. And that was a perfect representation of Fisk.
Yeah.
So, Ta-Nehisi Coates, you're on my radar, bud. You're on my radar. Alright, go ahead.
Well, we do end, and we've got a plane. I don't know where they're headed, but I can't remember who the lady is with him. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible nerd.
Yeah,
but
right.
We've got Hydra Evil Captain America. And he has a little bit of a battle, and he is taken down. I'm not sure if he's dead, but it strongly looks like it. And we've got that Femme Fatale team that I told you about last time with Tigress and all them.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got some juicy information now.
Alright, yeah, no, this wasn't somebody, the Misty Knight.
And they now know who killed Ross, and it was some guy called the Foreigner.
Oh man, as only a Captain America book would have. That's great. It's super great is the teaser for next month's cover. Alex Ross is just a monster.
Yes, he is.
No, actually, this wasn't so bad. Obviously, the Mayor Fisk part drew me in.
Right.
But
again, I'm not quite sure if this is going to be your book. But
I don't think Captain America will ever be my book until Sam Wilson holds the shield again.
Yeah. I will say, as a true Captain America fan, I'm enjoying this run. However, if you're the fan of Captain America where you need to see the suit, you want the shield flying around, we haven't had a whole lot of it in this arc yet.
No, this is like if Captain America were done in like a Detective Comics type of fashion.
I mean, this one is called The Captain of Nobody, so
yeah,
expect to see a lot of Steve Rogers and a lot less Captain America.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is an interesting flip through. That's for show. Any more Marvel?
I think that'll do it for me on Marvel. Oh, I'll just mention Invaders. It's still good. You remember that whole Namor stuff we had in Avengers?
Oh yeah.
This is kind of that string of things. Heavy on Namor, heavy on Bucky Barnes, heavy on Steve Rogers.
All characters I like. It's just the timeline and detailings or plot line of the story that was solicited wasn't. I don't care to see those characters in that timeline is all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Maybe when it's all said and done, I can go into more detail, but I'm enjoying it. But it's not an unnecessary read.
Gotcha. I just have so much. Something had to go.
I hear you. That catch-up pile is ever growing.
You know, the cool thing is that I don't really have much to catch up on except for like some old stuff, like, you know, the Chew and all that stuff, like completed stuff. I mean, East of West, I guess, is going in Saga, but for the most part, I'm proud to say that what I buy, I read. Like, a lot of it doesn't go unread. 99% of it doesn't go unread. And if it goes unread, that means I'm saving it.
Yeah, fair.
So, yeah, no, it's I've been a comic reading fool, man. I'm proud of it.
Yeah, you're a machine, just pumping them out.
Dude, I love it so much. I do. I love it so much.
I can tell.
I do.
So I guess that leads us up to some DC.
DC Comics. Action Comics number 1008. Leviathan Rising Part 2. Brian Michael Bendis, Steve Epting, and Brad Anderson. And the cover by Steve Epting. So, I am finally kind of jumped on at 1007 was the start of the new arc.
Mm-hmm.
This book is very interesting. It was highly, highly praised. I can say I must have missed something. There's definitely something big that happens in here, but I don't know if it matches up to the hype that I saw it receive. I don't know. I'm not a Superman fan though. I'm a new Superman fan.
Fair.
So maybe it doesn't. The fact is this is a hot book for some reason, and there's some good stuff in it. There really is. The story. Did you read this?
I did not.
You did not? Okay. I'm afraid this is another one of those books where I don't know if I could do it justice. So we get kind of a tie-in to the Amanda Waller happening. Remember I described how Superman from like way away rescued Amanda Waller falling out of a building, and she was in a super secure building.
I did read that one. Yep.
Okay, so this is tying back more into all that. So Amanda Waller, she's going under disguise. She's in this movie theater. She has like a facial, I think like Scanner Darkly type of technology. And then the dude she's meeting in the theater is Lois's dad. And we know that in the last issue, a lot of stuff came to light there. How it was, you know, Lois tells him like, "Look, your son's Superboy, and I remember how much you hate Superman.
Is all this true?" And then walks away.
Yeah. So then when they go to meet up, and I don't understand the context of why those two are meeting up. I really don't. He comes up and says, "Well, I don't know if I have the same type of feelings towards him now." And you get an awkward moment there for a second, and they realize, like, well, you asked me to come here. It's like, wait, no, you asked me to come here. And they're like, wait a second. And they both realize it's a setup. So yeah, they you know, they're skedaddling out of there, and on their way skedaddling out, we see that blue light goose stuff that remember Jimmy Olsen saw with the lizard people cult and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of myself for remembering all this. That's signs of good storytelling. So yeah, they naturally you start shooting at the blue light.
Of course,
because that's what happens. And then it gets weird, because for a second I think that, well, I guess I'll get back to that. Then we flash over to Superman and Lois.
Mm-hmm.
Together, because that's been a while since that's been a thing, so they're together. And they're like, hey, let's do something weird, like this will really blow their minds, man. Let's go to the Daily Planet, bro. Because, you know, Lois has been MIA.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Her office has been taken over.
Right. So, yeah, no, her and Clark make an appearance, and it's a very, she's not as celebritized as one may think, but at the same time, everyone clearly notices, like, oh, damn, she back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like, oh, yeah.
Big bitch on the block is back.
Right. So they go into the office, and old Jimmy Olsen's hiding under the desk, and they're explaining the blue light. He explains the blue light to him and the lizard folk and whatnot.
Right, because he was trying to explain it to Clark, and Clark got distracted and said he had to leave.
Right. And then it cuts back over to, just like that, just blah, 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 this is what's happening, and Jimmy Olsen, and explanations, and back over to Amanda Waller, and Mr. Lane. I don't know his first name, but it's Lois Lane's dad, so going with that. But, yeah, no, they're running, and, like, I think the blue light that we're seeing on Waller's fingertips there is indication of her disguising whatever. And then, like you see there, Like, that's the facial disguise thing that I'm talking, technology that she was like, because she went into the theater looking like a Korean woman. And then he even calls her out, he's like, oh, that's the disguise you're going to go with? And
so her disguise is failing.
Right, well, I'm not... No, because then she changed it right there. Once he's like, oh, that's, you know, she's Waller.
Ah, okay.
But this is the confusing part is, you know, she's got the blue hand and the technology spazzing out, and it looks like Lane is following behind her, and then she turns around and just, like, double blasts at him, and then you see, like, the same blue light on his chest there. And he's like, damn it, Amanda! Because that's what you say when you get shot in the chest a whole bunch of times.
Right.
And he's laying on the ground, and can't tell if he's having, like, there's no blood. At this point, it looks like he got, like, shot with, like, a bulletproof vest reaction. But it almost looks like he's having a heart attack, too. Like, you can see, I'm not totally sure what's going on here. Like, shot, clearly blam, 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 blam.
Yeah.
Blue light on the chest. Gaya, laying down there, no blood.
Shadow
no blood.
over his head.
And then reaches out to some random shadow. He yells out Lois with the tear in his eye. Doesn't yell. Whispers Lois with the tear in his eye, seemingly his last dying breath, because it goes black. So, very confused as to what's going on there.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. But still very exciting at the same time. And then through the door, flashing back over to Clark, he ends up taking I hope I haven't been calling him Bucky the whole time. What's his name? Jimmy. No, I haven't called him Jimmy Olsen. Right? I haven't been calling him Bucky. He just seems like a Bucky.
If you have, I haven't caught it.
Alright, it's Jimmy Olsen. And, you know, the whole time he's like, Clark's like, you need, like, real sleep that's not under my desk. Come home and, like, a bed and sheets and everything. So he takes him home to get him some rest. Then Waller comes through the door. His home is like, Lois! Clark! And her gun's smoking and she looks mad. And she's like, Leviathan is taking us all out. And that's how it ends. So, if you ever were to ask me, I'd say that Amanda Waller's taking everybody out, but...
You never know with her character.
Yeah,
like,
she's
always, like, tipping the line on whose side she's on.
Yeah, very Nick Fury-ish.
Yeah.
Nick Fury more often than not has good intentions, but Waller is just... I don't know about that
She might have good intentions, it just might not be our hero's intentions.
Yeah, very anti-heroic, if anything. This is a very interesting issue, and as someone, this is the second time reading Action Comics, you know, jumping onto a new arc, I'm enjoying this. Like, the pacing is fun, it's exciting, it's kept me on point. The parts that I'm like, I'm not sure that makes sense, I might have missed something, it's not so skewed that I'm like, I have no faith I'm going to be able to catch up on this. Like, I know this is going to be explained.
The stuff you're dark on probably is intentional.
Right. Like, who shot Lane? Is he dead? Who's that shadow? Probably Leviathan. But, yeah, no,
maybe.
It's going to all be answered, though. Brian Michael Bendis there's a reason he's at the level of writer. He ain't no chump. So, in DC, when they took him on, they gave him their iconic Superman.
Fair enough.
And both titles. Action Comics and Superman. So... Proving it. I mean, I've already praised Superman, that title, but Action Comics is, now that I found a jumping on point, good job. Super indeed. Alright, this little storyline's coming to an end. Flash, number 65, The Price of Loyalty, Part 4. Joshua Williamson, turn the page. Rafa Sandoval, Jordi Tarragona, and Tom Almore, covered by Chris Burnham and Nathan Fabian. So,
I wasn't sure about the first 3 issues. They were just okay, but they weren't stories I really wanted to read. But man, this one wrapped it up. I think we had a good payoff.
No, it did wrap up well. That's for sure. It was the best of the 4. I still don't think that this... falsely advertising into the Sanctuary story is frustrating. It very, 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 very loosely ties into it.
It's inspired from the events, and it does mention... But yeah, I mean, it's not like...
Well, it's the whole catalyst to...
If you want to read Heroes in Crisis, you don't need to read this to understand the arc.
No. All you need to know is that Wally West is dead, and
these worlds are colliding. These things are happening at the same time together.
Yeah. Well, you definitely enjoyed this book more. I didn't not enjoy it, and like I said, this was the best of the 4-part crossover event, but it was still just.
I mean, there's a lot of bickering between Flash and Batman.
That's what the whole book was back and forth bickering between Flash and Batman. No, the action scene, like the actual frustration that Flash shows, the art is fantastic. And the part where Batman triggers Flash as he's walking away and he goes up to punch Batman in the face as Batman's putting back on his cowl. Because I think that scene is incredible. The way to describe it is Flash as soon as Batman recognizes that Flash is on the offensive, they're in the Batcave, and the Batcave offensives automatically trick in.
Yep.
And Batman's like,
you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this.
You don't.
All right, just throws on the cowl.
Yeah, just knowing that,
Shit's about to go down.
And Flash gets his fist right up to Bruce's face, and he's like, I could punch you 100 times before you would even know I punched you once.
Before you could even react.
Yeah, and Batman's just like,
Yeah.
Agreed. Like, thanks. Appreciate you not following through there.
Yeah.
With not as many words. But, then they just kind of part ways?
Yeah, I mean, still that those two having an argument, and, Flash storms off. He's angry.
Sees the letter from Iris.
Yeah. He goes home, and, Iris wrote a little note saying, I was trying to think what I was going to write for Wally's, what do you call that? Obituary?
Yeah.
Write his obituary, and then I decided...
You're googly.
Yeah. So I was writing his obituary, and I said all these things, and this and that, and then I realized I wasn't writing his obituary. I was writing yours. I can't do this. You're right. You're a hero. You can never escape this life. You saved my life. I'm going to go live it for a while. She's gone. So I'm sure Flash is no happier with Batman now.
No.
But we do end this with Batman and Superman having a conversation.
Yeah, and that's the payoff of the whole story.
Really trying to figure out what's happening with this whole sanctuary business. And
even Superman's like, I don't even know if I trust you, dude.
Yeah, the two of us, can we even trust each other? But what about the Flash? Barry is one of the greatest CSI investigators there's ever been.
Yep.
Can we trust him? We can trust him, right, Batman? No answer.
Yep.
So who knows? I mean...
And then they show this ominous panel of the Flash in a very, ominous color scheme, and, to depict him as a possible bad guy. I am just going to have to go with the hearsay on the Flash story from here on out. Unfortunately. I was hoping this would be the 2 issues to tie me into putting Flash on my pull list.
Mm-hmm.
Flash has never drawn me though as a character. I've always been slightly intrigued, but never. It's a lot of commitment because there's a lot of Flash.
Yeah, I mean, you start talking about the whole Speed Force and all the different Flashes, and he's got his own ecosystem in the comic world.
Yeah, ecosystem's a good word for it. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's very, very deep lore to Flash. And it's just the whole, Strength Force and all this other Still Force and all this other stuff that's been brought to light recently in the Flash comics. It's
a lot to take in.
It's just a lot for me right now. I've got, as you as listeners clearly know, I read a lot of books. And
we don't even talk about all the ones we read.
Yeah, if it wasn't for this tying into Batman, and y'all know we love our Batman, I probably wouldn't have given it a shot, but... Gotham Girl was a cool way to tie it in, to be honest. We didn't even mention Gotham Girl one time throughout the whole thing, and the whole book's about Gotham Girl.
Well, yeah, I mean, they defeat her in the beginning. They're trying to save her life.
More about the origin story.
They put her more in the goo that they found all the other ones in earlier, and now Batman's had a change of heart. When she gets better, he's going to teach her how to be a hero. He's going to help her be a hero rather than prevent her from using her powers and dying.
Yeah, and that's kind of what triggers the whole thing.
Yeah.
Did you let her in a sanctuary?
I like some of the payoff on this one. I was like, okay. I mean, the other ones, they weren't bad, but I just wasn't interested.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get Tom King back on Batman. So
yeah, that's for sure. For sure. Let's move on to
Shazam! Shazam!
Shazam! Number 3, Jeff Johns, Dale Eaglesham, Marco Santucci, Mayo Naeto, and Mark Atala. Cover by Eaglesham and the great Alex Sinclair. Cover, not a damn thing to do with the book. I feel, before I jump into this, well...
That's about it, though.
Okay. I feel like DC, the publishers, are a month behind on all of their covers. I'm not going to lie.
Because this one does look like a perfect cover for last week.
And the one before that was a Christmas one. They had a Christmas cover on it for issue 2. And that it was not Christmas anymore. It was the middle of January. So I think that there was some mix-ups with... They botched the first cover. Well, they couldn't have their number 1 be a Christmas cover.
Fair.
But then they're like, but it's Christmas, and it's Shazam, and it's kids. We gotta have a Christmas cover. And the editor's
That's what variants are for.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what they should have done. You're absolutely right. So, and then this cover here ties in what should have been the last cover. I'm not bitching. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, no, I
detectivizing.
I saw the cover. It just wasn't anything over and above, and I kind of just forgot about it as I was reading the comic.
Yeah. Well, this book here is nothing but pure fun. Alex,
I see what you did there.
Because
they're in Funland.
That wasn't even intentional. That means they just did a good job. So the Funlands is where the story takes place. We left off with King Kid, who is exactly what you would expect him to be, as one who calls himself King Kid, in a place called the Funlands. Just picture Candyland in real life. And
pretty much, yeah. With rides and...
The color. And the color. All
the colors.
Dude, Alex Sinclair is... I mean, he's one of my all-time favorite color artists. And
it looks like a Disney, Carnival, Barnum and Bailey... Jam it all in there.
Mm-hmm. Be careful doing drugs reading this book. Don't do drugs, read this book. This is the message. So, King Kid is introduced. He's like, this is amazing, and food, and joy, and donuts, and candy.
Eat all the junk you want.
Yeah, and we get a little bit of an origin of to how this all came about. He found this magical scepter, and he just accidentally made a wish that he had some cool stuff, and then he was like, oh shit, that happened.
Yeah,
then Funlands was created.
He was a poor, oppressed child who was living in the cupboard. His father was chasing him one night, and to escape the beatings, he ran, and he fell down a hole, and fell, and fell, and fell. And he woke up in a green field where water tasted like marshmallows, and he found a magic candy cane scepter, and he just wanted something
to
do.
It. When life hands you candy cane scepters, you make Funlands.
You make a merry-go-round.
Yeah, all of that stuff and everything. So as they're explaining the whole, this is all about I'm here for the kids and all this stuff, you realize that one of the folks in this group is a bit. Her name is Mary. I think, yeah, Mary.
The older one?
Yeah, she's apprehensive of all this. She's like, there's something up with this kid.
We should go home.
Yeah, this is just like way too good to be true. And then it comes out that, she's an adult. And he's like, wait a second, you're an adult? Or at least midget clowns.
Arrest her.
And
the Oompa Loompas.
They are Oompa Loompas, but so much better.
They're clowns.
Because they're clowns.
Yeah.
I love it so much. They're little mini clowns. Micro clowns. And they attack her and jump on her and bring her down into a little hole. And then the whole time they're like, what's the magic word? And they're like, we can't say the magic word. And it's like, we should say the magic word. And then when she goes down in the hole, they're like, it's time to say the magic word. What's the magic word?
Shazam!
Shazam! And they all Shazam out. And the colors. Jesus, the colors.
King Kid's like, you lied, you're not really kids, you're adults.
Yeah, you can't, these are for...
Arrest these adults.
Yeah. And that's what you're getting out of all of this. Oh, the kids get separated too, so they introduce like this map, and there's all these different worlds. We get the fun lands, and the game lands, and the blah 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 lands, and the blah 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 lands.
Some of them end up in the wild lands.
Yeah, so now we're getting an introduction to 2 more of these lands. One of them, the team splitting up, and team being the orphans, the kids, the Shazams. One of them being the game lands, and the other one being the wild lands, where there's aminals. And you get like these cat people and horse people. You get, I don't think that's BoJack Horseman.
I mean, maybe before he became an actor, maybe.
He was never a cop. We know that story.
So, question: are we gonna get 3 different runs now of Shazam?
No, it's all gonna be next. It says next month in Shazam.
Thank you, DC. Thank you.
No, DC wouldn't do. They wouldn't. Even with a Shazam movie coming, they wouldn't do. There's too much. No. It's perfect. We're just going to get a bunch of, it's all going to tie in together. I mean, it's Chip Johns. It's going to do just fine. But, did I say how much I like this color?
No, there's a lot of color.
Alex Sinclair's a master. And, Alex Sinclair's got to have lines to squiggle in, and that goes to Dale Eaglesham. And
I feel like I'm learning a lot of Shazam lore, because I really don't know anything about the character.
Yeah, and, I never gave 2 cruds about Shazam until I saw the movie trailer, and I was like, oh shit, that looks fun. Is that what Shazam's all about? And then they, naturally drop a comic, as, any good marketing team should in such a scenario. And I think we'll have 4 issues out by the time April comes along, when the Shazam movie drops, and I think I'm plenty hyped.
Oh yeah, me too.
This is,
I'm on board. The art's been great. The stories seems fun so far. We'll see where it takes us.
Yeah, and this has honestly been more Billy Batson than Shazam, to be honest, through the first 3 issues. Like, there was zero Shazam in issue 2. It was all Billy Batson.
Yeah. Mostly
Billy Batson in issue 1. And even then, this wasn't even, like, Shazam focused so much as...
Shazam! Everybody separated.
Yeah, exactly. So... for being what you would hope it is, and it not being that, you think one would be a little less, or a little more apprehensive to talk good things, but I am not.
No, I've enjoyed it.
I'm happy it threw a curveball at me, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of curveballs...
Martian Manhunter.
Number 3, Steve Orlando and Riley Rossimo and Ivan Placencia. So this book isn't nearly as, like, question-rising, I guess, as the first 2 issues were for me.
A lot more answers in this one.
Yeah, this is a very straightforward, like, there's no detectivizing in this one. It's what you get what you get out of this.
Yeah, I mean, we had John Jones, we had Martian Manhunter, who was shot by Diane last issue.
This was, I honestly think that 75% of this book is them just explaining... and confirming you've been shot.
Yeah, this is more of an origin story of how did John Jones become John Jones. And
it's well told. It really is. And like, I like the fact that he mentions a ritual is like in our land of Mars, when someone dies, we take their form for a cycle, which I would assume would be a day. And that's our way for the grieving to still kind of say their final whatever, spend their last day. So someone just takes it's a full year.
Full year.
A cycle's a year.
Yeah, because
that's what I thought initially.
It's been a year, and I wasn't ready to lay him to rest.
Oh, okay. I thought it would just so happen that.
Well, he got a lot done in a day.
Dog. Well, no. The thing is I just thought that it's been 364 days since that time, and he's still explaining. Like, I just thought I misstepped the context. Like, we do it for a day. It's just I've been just carrying on for a lot longer than I should have. Is how I got that.
Okay, I can see that. I think it's been a year though.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. It could take some clarifying. It's just I think there was this because I originally thought a year too. I just don't remember what I read in here to make me like, oh, okay, so it is a day. So I'm not sure. I think he does say, like, I just couldn't let it go.
Right.
And,
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we just get more of him, He saw John Jones's final moments. He died a hero. He psychically held on to his morals and beliefs, knew he was a good guy. He was reminded of himself as a manhunter, so he took his form, and he's been working with Diane to catch all these criminals.
And specifically go after this lady or little girl who just looks like she's in the shittiest situation, man. Yeah. She's got a fishbowl on her head being fed gas, and like she's like barefoot and like in shorts on this like steel grate of a vent and she's skinned up shins and bloody ankles, and I feel bad for this young girl.
Oh, yeah,
she can't be more than like 16.
They definitely showed a sense of distress. They did a very good job on that.
And that's who they're both going after, but now not together because the partner, lady, can't remember her name. But they're after Ashley Adams. Diane, that's right.
I can't remember her last name, but...
Yeah, I think I wrote her last name on here. I just can't find where I wrote it. Anyway. It's actually Way. Anyway, I learned that. It's not supposed to be anyways. Sorry, rambling. Yeah, no, there's some tension to be had here. For this being a 12-part series, I feel like I have my opposite critique. Normally I'm like, how are they going to wrap all this up, with so few to go? Now I'm like, fuck, there are only 3 issues in. They got a lot of story to tell with 9 more to go.
Yeah.
And the first 2 issues I was apprehensive, but after this one I was like, alright, Orlando's wrapping me in. He's not... I got so much to read. I don't need a damn mystery book every week.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this one. It's not the Manhunter story I thought we would be getting.
Oh, hell no. But once again, just like Shazam.
Yeah. I mean, it's got good art. I like the colors.
Riley Rossimo is the dude's got steez. And for him to do and Steve Orlando is known for doing weird. So weird. It works out well. I mean, the art's weird, so the two mesh just fine.
Yeah, I mean, it really does a great job kind of capturing kind of the narration through an alien's, point of view.
Yeah. All right, 999 Detective Comics, almost to 1,000. We got a month to go. A full month. Normally they go bi-weekly, but they're like, all right, breathe.
You know what we should do on that one? We should grab some beers and celebrate for that issue.
Well, I bet you we're going to talk about it. I would put money on it, but I want you to talk about this one because I apparently missed something.
Yeah,
I think I read 997. Then my poll forgot to put 998 on there, so I missed something. So after reading 999, I was like, oh shucks, I missed something. So tell us, what's the little baby Bruce?
Okay, so just re-rolling back a little bit, we've had Batman fighting this amorphic devil demon thing. It's been taking the form, sometimes several, of a lot of his villains and even his teachers. And he's been fighting them. He's been struggling, trying to use everything in his belt to fight this thing. And then it transformed last issue into a little baby Bruce. And, Bruce says, I will not hit a child. This little baby Bruce has no problem hitting him. It's like, well, you did this. It was your idea. You sent me here. Don't you remember? He starts hitting him.
Every swing, he gets older and older. He's
getting older and older until he becomes, fully fledged adult, Bruce Wayne.
It's like, I've been you the whole time. I got that much. And then I like the part where Bruce is like, I'm not so apprehensive to hit a kid on account of
you're not a kid anymore, so I'll hit you.
And this is where it lost me from here on out.
Yeah, so again, we just have him struggling against this foe who is himself, which what better enemy could Bruce Wayne have than himself?
Oh.
And, through some dialogue, that they keep breaking through different points of Bruce's world and through his life, and, eventually, little baby Bruce, he's a kid again, is standing next to a plot, next to his mother Martha and his father Thomas. And the hole has been dug. It's set for a casket, and the headstone says Bruce Wayne. It says, how can I explain this? 3 people died that night. It wasn't only Thomas, it wasn't only Martha. Bruce died that night. He wasn't allowed to be a kid anymore. He couldn't be the person that Bruce Wayne should have been.
Oh, little baby Bruce died.
With the death of Bruce Wayne was born the Batman. That is when he became the cynical, grim, serious man. And, Bruce, adult Bruce, real Bruce, picks up the shovel, says, I'm ready to bury you. And he starts throwing dirt into the grave with baby Bruce still standing in it, that my mission isn't over. Gotham needs me. And then we cut to the Batcave, and we've got Batman hooked up to some tubes and stuff, and he's floating in green liquid.
Like Bane?
Huh?
Bane?
No, not really. And Alfred says, well, I found him in here. He put himself in this contraption. He does it every year on his birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And, it was just all a simulation. It was all Bruce testing himself every year. Instead of having cake, this is his birthday.
That's right. Yeah. That's funny. Okay.
So all this past weird shit that I was enjoying, but I jumped in the middle of it. I was like, I don't really know what's going on.
Oh.
Okay, I mean, it was kind of a cop-out. Like, oh, this is a simulation. We've been playing with you the whole time. But I enjoyed it. Like, okay.
Well, it shows that he's a mental masochist as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
they don't need this comic to tell me that. We all know that.
But sure.
Yeah, good representation.
But to do that as a birthday tradition, like that's pretty dog.
Yeah, definitely. That's very dark.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Okay. Alright, I guess I got more of this than I thought. That's right. I forgot about the whole reveal that. Oh yeah, no, this is just what he does. He's freaking weird, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good tie-up. Now I understand what I've been reading the past 2 months, and
cool. Well,
I'm looking forward to 1,000.
I am so looking forward to 1,000 because 1,000 is going to be a slew of different stories. Like I know that much. It's going to be a whole bunch of stories.
Of course.
But,
big celebration.
Right. But from then on out, I can say I might be able to call myself a Detective Comics reader. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Tomasi's still taking it over.
We're going to jump at the beginning of an arc. So that'll help.
Yeah, well, I would only hope so. That would just be silly not to. More Batman. Batman Beyond, number 29. Dan Jurgens, Brett Booth, Norm Redmond, and Andrew Dalhouse. Cover by Pascal Ferry and Dave McCaig. This was my hype book of the week. I was really looking forward to this book on account of the Death in the Family stuff.
Did it disappoint?
Not even a little. This book is why I have faith in DC Comics and why I continue to read DC Comics. The art is spectacular. The tone is as dark as I could ever want. Didn't expect that out of a Batman Beyond story. This is one of the darker stories that has come out in the Batman Tales recently. And I mean that in the best way possible. Did you read this one?
Of course.
Okay. So we all know that old Matthew McGinnis, or Robin, is being held captive by the Joker. Joker is damn set determined to know who Bruce is.
Mm-hmm.
He sets
Who is this Bruce you keep talking to?
Right. He sets this trap by putting Matt in this casket and threatening to light it on fire if Bruce isn't revealed.
And he airs it on TV.
Yes, this is all being televised live. Meanwhile, Bruce back home is shitting his pants. And he's just like screaming at the TV like a 45-year-old watching a Broncos game this year. Just throw it! Just tell him everything! Just tell him! It's cool.
Do whatever you ask, Matt.
Yeah. And, meanwhile, Dick Grayson and Terry McGinnis, our Batman, come rushing into where they think Matt's being held. And they realize that it was all a setup.
They find the cask, they find the goons,
and
the goons are fighting to light this cask on fire because they know that they'll be turning into cyborgs or worse if they don't do it.
Yeah.
Like Jay says.
Yeah, and they explain like, oh, it's a shame what happened to old John. You realize that was Johnny, or what was it Johnny Joker or Joker John? I forgot what his damn name was.
Yeah. Who was turned into the cyborg robot thing they fought last issue.
All tying in very, very nicely. This is a very... But then you wonder, like, alright, well, shit. So, they go up to open up the flaming casket, and they're like, well, he's not in here. It's a trap! And then, meanwhile, you flash back over to Bruce, and he's like, wait, he's not in there? He's not in there? I'm Batman. Because now,
I'm just
like you gotta say it just once. And then he hears a, and that wasn't the Penguin.
The Joker has Matt with a gun to his head, and he's at the Batcave.
And he's like, oh, he told me everything. He told me everything. And meanwhile, I'm like, he's a little disappointed. Like, Bruce is just a little disappointed.
I wouldn't think so. I think that's what Bruce would want them to do, but it's not what Bruce would ever do.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
Bruce doesn't want his sidekick to die. He's seen that enough times.
No, that's true. So then, we get a crowbar fight between Old Man Bruce
crowbar and a hand
and the Joker.
And a cane. Yep.
And so we get so Joker gets stabbed in the hand with a crowbar, and
I think Joker breaks Bruce's cane and makes it jagged, and then Bruce uses that after taking a hit to stab him
he has
in the
a
arm.
cane. I just thought it was weird.
I mean, the way it's drawn, I could see that. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
For a second, I thought I was like, oh, that's just he has a crowbar too. Cool. I missed that. No, it makes sense. That's a jagged cane. So as he's got the Joker sitting there, he's like, oh, I'm gonna get you, Batman. Bruce pulls a gun on him. He's like, no, you can't.
It steals the Joker's gun.
Yeah. Okay, that's where he got the gun.
Yep.
Where did? That's what that panel is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I was gonna say, why does
Bruce have a gun? He doesn't carry a gun.
Yeah. All right. No. Okay, that makes much more sense to me. I thought this was a lot more twisty than I anticipated, but
the Joker, he knows Batman's MO. He's like, you won't even do it.
And then in perfect timing, death come a knocking.
Pain in the chest.
Fucking heart attack.
Yeah.
Joker has a heart attack and dies.
Which I think is this fun little irony because
irony.
Earlier in the issue they were talking about how Bruce Wayne has a weak heart. So
yeah. That is the like for us all thinking they're just rehashing Death in the Family. That is so not Death in the Family.
And yeah, it's a little cheesy that the Joker has a heart attack and dies, but it's perfect.
No, what's
perfect.
Is it not cheesy that at the end of the Killing Joke, Batman decides to have a little laugh with the Joker? Yeah, it's cheesy, but that doesn't make it less dark.
Right. Yeah, I mean it can be cheesy and still be brilliant.
The
still
fact
be
that,
good.
Did you ever? How many times has the Joker looked down the barrel of a gun and on the other end of it is Bruce Wayne, in a moment of desperation? That might cause a fucking heart attack, man.
I think it's just Joker's time is up. Bruce doesn't even need to pull the trigger because it's his time. And I really like the way this team wrote and did the Joker. The whole time I read it, I heard
the Joker. Mark Hamill the whole time.
The whole time.
Oh my God, that laugh was so freaking there, man. That was so Mark Hamill. And that I cheers to because that's
cheers.
My favorite Batman book, actually. And I say that over time. Now, from here, this is the question. I got one great, amazing arc.
Can Neo Gotham still sway you?
Yes, without the Joker. Are we gonna get some new villains that I'm not familiar with? Can they make them interesting?
Yeah.
Can they make the story interesting? Because Dick and Bruce can't always be a part of the story. This is a Matt and Terry story, and I want more of that. I just really enjoy the fact that I jumped on a point where they brought me into everything that I was very familiar with. They brought me into a comfort zone, and now I feel comfortable being released into this world that I don't know dick about.
Yeah.
Or remember dick about. Let's put it that way.
You know what?
Because I did join the DC universe, and I've been watching me some Batman Beyond.
So I do like the Beyond Batman. I like Terry as Batman. I like the gadgets. I like Neo Gotham. But one of the things I really like is I like old, grizzled, retired Bruce Wayne.
Very much.
The character is perfect. That is totally how he would be, and I enjoy that character. You know what comic I really want to read, or even animated show I would like to see? Did you ever watch? I think it was a 2-part movie series of Return of the Batman Rises, where Batman comes out of retirement and dons the cowl again, and he's fighting.
The Dark Knight Rises, you mean?
No, it's the Return. Or maybe it's the Return of the Dark Knight. I'm sorry.
Was it a DC animated movie?
It was, yes.
Oh, I know exactly. Yeah, it was 2 parts. I know exactly what you're talking about.
At the very end of the series, where he has his Batman raises an army, a police force of Batmen.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sure it may have already been done in a comic book. I haven't read it. I want to read that.
I think that was loosely based off some Frank Miller stuff.
Was it?
Yeah.
I need to catch up on that.
Yeah. If we're talking about the same story, that was based off Frank Miller's Dark Knight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, then I guess if it's already been done, I need to go read it.
Oh, yeah. And if Frank Miller's Dark Knight, then,
I've got a couple things by Frank Miller on Batman. I think one of them's a Todd McFarlane joint.
Really?
Yeah, I'll bring it over to you sometime. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. That sounds like some coffee table material.
Definitely. Except I don't want it to get ruined on my coffee table.
Yeah, right. Isn't that the irony of like amazing comic book or coffee table comic books?
I want it to be available for everybody to enjoy, but
just don't fucking touch it.
Yeah, just don't ruin it.
Oh man.
One final book for review.
Yes, Heroes in Crisis, number 6 of 9. Tom King, Mitch Gerads jumping in on this one, along with Clayman and Tom Almore. Okay. Super confusing. You have to know DC lore for a lot of this stuff to make sense. You have to be very receptive and visually perceptive in previous issues, because the art and positioning of every panel apparently is extremely important. And
maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this is just another.
You have to be Batman to understand, to know what's going on in this book. And that's intentional. That's very intentional.
We have some questions, but I like a good mystery. I really enjoy a good mystery.
Then you got your damn mystery, because it wasn't Colonel Mustard, I'll tell you that much.
Could have been.
Well, shit, you know what? It could have been.
Why not Professor Blond?
Yeah, it could have been. It could be anybody at this point. This is still a who's done it. This is pretty much, if I were to wrap this up, I would stupefy this book if I tried to tell you what the hell is going on here.
Stupefy it for me.
No. It's...
We do get some more cryptic events, or
extremely
details.
Cryptic.
Again, was it Harley? Was it Booster? Who done killed all these people?
So here...
Before, we've already seen Harley hit Wally West over the head with the hammer.
Right, that's how like issue 3 was left off, and this point, through a different perspective, at a different angle, it's perceived to be Booster Gold coming in to do the Wally West murderizing.
No, I think because that was the outside, and now we have the inside.
I don't know.
But we also have Harley walking
at this point, being
into
2/3 through, knowing what I know about Tom King and his storytelling, and where I feel this story is going, I have a feeling that all of this killing and everything is all... I even be so bold as to say potential spoilers. I think this is all just part of the virtual reality thing. I don't think none of these motherfuckers are dead. The way this is all being told, I think this is all in the virtual reality room here. I just, there's so much of it.
Including Batman and the Flash, because they're tying in the Flash and the Batman. Like, these are events that have happened. We've got Red Hood right now, who isn't even mentioned in the Heroes in Crisis, and he's visited Roy Harper's funeral, or his grave. I don't think this is simulations. I think these people are dead for sure.
I think there's a lot more that's being simulated than meets the eye, though. I really do.
Could
there
be.
might
Okay,
maybe not all the deaths, but I think the majority of these deaths are simulated. That's just my opinion, just based off of the twisty turning, oops, you thought type of story that Tom King has been known to tell.
Alright, so do you mind if I roll up my tinfoil hat here and make an idiot of myself? Alright, putting the tinfoil hat on.
What you got, man?
So at the end of Flash, we have that scene where, like, Superman's asking Batman, well, do you trust the Flash? Now, Bruce wouldn't be somebody who would just blindly trust somebody, but if he doesn't trust the Flash, I think there'd be some kind of evidence to show that maybe he could have possibly had something to do with it. Well, it didn't have to be the Flash. We've got this very symbolic scenes in here with Wally West, the Kid Flash, of, you know, that he's brought back to life and here's all his people, but they're not really his people. His people are still dead, right?
Well, that flashback has to do with the events. That's actually a revisiting of DC Rebirth, I believe,
exactly.
with the New 52 events. That's a whole revisiting. That's not new events coming to light. That's a flashback.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But we have him, and he's obviously traumatized. He's obviously going through some stuff. It was just the way that he was holding Roy Harper, and the way he was apologizing, saying, I'm sorry, I just didn't want to be alone. Like, did maybe Wally West have something big to do with this? And maybe Harley, seeing him having done this, knocked him in the bunker with the hammer, because he killed Ivy. But then we've also got this part where Booster was talking about how this body is too old. So we have Harley seeing Booster shooting Wally West in this one. Maybe because Booster was outside before when Harley saw him after she bunked the other guy in the head. Now we've got him inside. So maybe the way timelines unfolded, Booster came back. I don't know.
I honestly think it's going to be told in the cop-out way. They're like, oh, well, this is like the whole Mandela effect thing. Some people perceive things differently, and that's just going to prevent us from ever being able to rectify this story. I wouldn't be surprised if Tom King did that to us. I really wouldn't.
Now, again, kind of like Mr. Miracle, while I am enjoying this one issue to issue, I'm thinking this story is probably going to be a better trade issue. Like, it's... he's a novelist.
Absolutely.
And I think that he's going to be better. Just pick it up.
Yeah. Front
to end.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a more enjoyable ride. I'm still enjoying this. And, man, Clay Mann is just fucking art.
Frustrating, though, because I want to know something.
Yeah, I've got more and more questions every time, and I'm answering almost none of them.
Almost. All of none of them. Yeah. But that doesn't, like I said, I don't want to...
6 more issues to go, though.
Yeah, and, I want to give a shout-out to Mitch Gerards for jumping on this. That cover's freaking incredible. I would like a virgin edition of that cover with no trade dress on it whatsoever. That's just a cool Harley.
I did finally pull up some interviews, and it is Garrett's.
That's how they pronounce it. I'm telling you, it's Gerards.
Well, it was talking to him, and he didn't correct him. So either he's like a really patient man, or we've been saying it wrong this whole time.
Whatever. I'm going to call him Giraffe now, just because you did that.
Oh!
So, yeah, no, that's our take. That's my take. That's Justin's take. We're 2/3 through.
We don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, if you guys have any, what your take is, because, obviously this is completely speculation based off of the crazy bit that we have here.
Yeah, educate us.
What? No, I don't educate. You don't know either. I guarantee you don't know. If you do know, then kudos, but I don't believe you. But I would still like to hear what your thoughts are as far as, your take, whatever. I don't care. You know what I'm trying to say.
Let's hear your hot takes.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, I felt disgusting.
Stop it. Stop it. All right. Well, did you have any other DC books?
No, man. You want to start talking about of the weeks?
Of the weeks? Actually, no. We have something else to review.
Ah, yes, our good old indie review.
Yeah, because I guess, like I said, we do that now. People have reached out to us, and it's become a trending thing that we've found to be enjoyable. Been coming across
very excited about it.
Super, super awesome under-the-radar stuff that we're going to do everything in our power to get out to you guys. This stuff is worth reading. There's definitely an audience. There's always an audience for something. Before we get into this, I would like to announce that the second creator-owned comic review we did, The Wolf and Me, has officially launched page 7 on Webtoons as of today. Got the Webtoons notification this morning, so they're back in production. So look forward to that, and their bi-weekly intermission comics, they said we're ready for some really cool stuff, because they're going to change up their formula. So.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, just got a shout out to the indies, the under the radar guys, and with that being said, we're going to segue into this week's creator book of the week. This is
White Lily.
Yeah, White Lily, number 2. I'm actually going to go ahead and give you a little bit of a rundown on number 1 and 2, because they gave them both to us, as one would hope naturally, because I like to know what the hell is going on. Didn't know anything about this book. I know nothing about this book, but first let's talk about the creators. Preston Poulter, apparently he adapted a screenplay, an original screenplay.
Yeah, this whole comic is adapted from the screenplay.
Yes, and all based off of a true story. What's this true story about, Justin?
Well, it's about the 2 most awarded
fighter
pilots in World War II. Well, it says
female.
ever. It says ever.
Female.
Yep, female.
The first female flying aces. This is the true story. And it involves... What does this involve exactly?
Lilia Litviak and Katya Budanova, who are the 2 highest scoring female combat pilots in world history, which I pretty much took word for word out of the end of their comic.
Yeah, well, you immediately get that feel right off the bat. The writer does a very good job. Let's talk about the creators real quick. Before we jump into this, let's give the creators a shout out, because no creators, no book, no content, no happy. Preston Poulter, Lovalle Davis, Diana Greenhalgh, and the covers by Blond. And then Troy Petrie of A Larger World of Studios lettered for them.
Yep.
So the art is very I don't want to say hyper realistic. That's not the word. Non-exaggerated.
Yeah, it's not like as comic booky.
So for somebody that said, draw me a World War II titled comic with two female fighter pilots who are trying to prove themselves to be badasses, give me that drawing style, nailed it.
No, yeah, definitely.
This is the exact tone.
No
that
complaints on the art at all.
Absolutely not. And I actually got to say, after reading the end of issue 2, unfortunately, their penciler passed away.
It did, unfortunately. So we'll see how that affects them moving forward.
Yeah, well, they're still in production.
Yep.
Issue number 3 will happen.
Yep,
but
they're gonna press on.
The first 2 issues, he lives on through these first 2 issues. That's for sure.
And did a great job too.
Yeah. So these 2 characters here, I'm gonna butcher their names if I try to say them. But so I'm not gonna. I'm gonna tiptoe around that.
Lilia is a badass. I'll just say that. Like, I mean, she's obviously a cocky, self-aware super pilot.
Yes. Is there a romantic tension I'm getting between these two? I feel like there's some sort of romantic triangle.
Yeah. Well, I don't think so. I think Katya is secretly in love with Lilia, but hasn't expressed that yet. Even though the internal dialogue is saying, like, oh, I should tell her. She's not gonna notice me. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
But then we've got Lilia, who very in control, took full agency of her sexuality, goes to her commanding officer, who she just embarrassed in the flying simulations, and says, well, forget this one. I want you to take me home. Wouldn't you love just wrap your arms around my neck and control me? Wouldn't that help your ego? And he's obviously really into it. He does it, and she's about ready to leave in the morning. She's like, all right, that was a good booty call, thanks. I'm out of here. He's like, well, wait, don't you want to stay for breakfast? So he's obviously romantically interested, but she's got badassery to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think there's a little bit of a grudginess going on here because the plane that she's given is just this old clunker. No one expects anything out of. This is actually the thing that I enjoyed most about this.
Well, she's talking about, like, it doesn't look beautiful. It's not like the biplane. It doesn't look cool, but it's a beast.
Wooden wings,
good.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed how she just like owned this tank of a plane. Like, it just
definitely
kind of gave me a bit of a Star Wars feel a little bit. I was like, you just got in. That was your Millennium Falcon, it just felt right. And I felt that chemistry between her and the plane right off the bat. That's actually something I really enjoyed, because I didn't expect, I was like, I didn't think I'd like the plane.
No, I mean,
I like the plane as a character. Yeah. And the plane's a character, I feel.
Sure. I mean, she's nothing without the plane in this story.
Right.
I mean, it's supposedly a very true adaptation, but of course embellished for comic books. We don't usually go into too much on detail on these because we want you guys to read them. Yeah,
well, I guess the reason why you're looking at me, the part I was explaining all was in the first issue. Like, they established that relationship with the plane in the first. That's right. I didn't tell you to read the first issue. I just read it.
But they do mention it in the second one, so I don't feel
the first issue is very, very much establishing the relationship with the plane, right. And the her becoming an underdog because this is what.
Right.
She was her tool, which is less adequate than most others.
Right.
Right. There's really nothing bad to say about this book. It definitely has a very direct audience, I think. You gotta be a war nut, I think, to enjoy this book to its fullest. But me not being a war nut, I still found something in this book that I really enjoyed, and that actually being taken off guard by the plane, I feel like. I
like the main characters, for sure. I mean...
the dialogue is, very, Tony Starkish, almost, where it's just,
Yeah, fair comparison, I can see that.
It's very cool, very in charge. They know these girls know what the hell they want. These women, And
Definitely.
this is, I mean, if you're looking for like a female-driven book, it's actually a male creative team too. So it's not like, all the dudes out there like, oh, I don't need girls shoving like girl books. No, this is dudes not shoving. They're telling a tale that has already been written in history in an amazing medium that is comic books.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, and the art is awesome. I'm anxious to see what happens in number 3 for a lot of reasons. One being how the art changes. Because I really feel like the art is so set with this. I mean, I'm sure they could find an artist to I don't want to say copy, but mimic the style and this tone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just feel like the art really gives the proper tone to this whole story.
Yeah, I'm really glad I actually read this one. I don't think it's something that I would have picked up had I just seen it on the shelf, but I enjoyed this.
I really did.
I have nothing bad to say at all.
Pocket Jack Comics, and there is a White Lily movie in the works, hence the screenplay. So go to Kickstarter.
I missed that.
You did. And there are more chapters in the works. Obviously, number 3 is going to be crowdfunded. So we'll drop all the links and descriptions and all that.
This is going to be a 5-part series, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This is part 2 of 5.
Yeah, I'm on board.
My recommendation is, yes, this is not a waste of time. Once again, another creative-owned book. Is this book for everybody? Absolutely not.
It doesn't have aliens, magic, or superpowers.
But can it appeal to somebody that you may not think it would appeal to? I'm living proof.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but I do, just because I'm feeling generous, these Pocket Jacks does have another title out that I just want to throw out
writer,
there.
Right?
Yes, so Guinevere, the Divinity...
Guinevere and the Divinity Factory.
Yes.
Another 5-part series going on.
Yeah.
You didn't send me this one, so I haven't read it, but I mean, just...
I thumbed through it, and it looked...
you kind of just scrolled through it in front of me, and I'm like, oh, this definitely looks up my alley. Same writer? I'm going to have to read this one.
I'm not going to go ahead and give a full-blown, in-depth whatever is going on here, but just flipping through, I could tell you this is much more magical and mystic and weird. I think there's a niche out there for the possibly perverted on account of the sexuality that's driven out there, and not in an overly pervasive way either. So it's well balanced from what I saw. The colors are just fantastic.
Yeah, that glowing green. I like that.
I can't stress the sexuality in this book enough. Without it, it's not.
I mean, they've got some scandalous outfits on here.
And lack thereof.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch that. Oh yeah, you got 2 topless girls. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And
okay.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some mysticisms going on here. That looks like a xenomorph. It's not. I like it. I don't know what to say about this book, because I don't want to, I mean, yeah. No, I don't want to give it an unfair review.
Right.
But from my point of view, what I like, if I were to just flip through a comic and read a few random panels, I get the feeling I'm going to really enjoy this, and there's a good possibility we will be giving this a fair review. So, neato indeed. And I'm definitely going to send you the copy.
I'd appreciate that. Yeah.
Shall.
Well, let's talk about them.
So, with that being said, Pocket Jacks Comics, Mr. Poulter, your amazing crew, you have impressed Cheers to Comics. We give a full thumbs up on everything you do. You clearly have a variety of style.
Yeah.
Because this is very, very different from White Lily.
Yeah, black and white.
And I like the fact that you're a completely diverse creator. You have this, like, I'm gonna do this Russian World War II female fighter pilot story that I think everybody needs to know and no one appreciates, and I'm gonna, deliver that through a new medium. Meanwhile, I can create some Doctor Strange-esque BDSism type of good stuff.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. And once again, I did not give Guinevere the Divinity Factory. That was not my full review, fair review. That was just from the blink of an eye. I like it. So, but yes, this whole team, Pocket Jacks Comics, Mr. Poulter, Good job. And to that, keep making comics. We look forward to issue 3 and issue 4 and issue 5 and all of your other future issues. And the possibly even a movie. Shit.
Hey, cool. I mean...
Well, like I said, we'll post all the links to the Kickstarters and how you guys could help out and where you guys can get this stuff yourself. So, yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. So that about wraps it up for the overview portion of what we read last week. Now let's get into the visually shiny stuff. Let's get into wall books, huh? And this is all the stuff that I buy, not necessarily for the story, but for the cover. And this week was... It makes up for the lack of the last couple of weeks, because it was the wall's going to get heavy. It's going to get saggy. I'm going to have to take some stuff down, I think, because lots of stuff's going up. Let's start out with Martian Manhunter, number 3, the Joshua Middleton variant.
Woo, that cover.
Oh, man, if you like green, you're going to love that. It's so subtle. He's doing his pencil style there. Like I said, Joshua Miller has a million styles.
Yep, I mean, he does great, for sure.
He does.
I like that a lot.
He does. Another DC. We've got Batgirl number 32 by Derek Chu. That's just it's a cool cover.
That's good. Yeah.
It's cool. It's very cool. It's poppy. It's very poppy.
Very dynamic.
Yes. This is a super hot book. Wonder Woman 65 by Art Germ.
Art Germ killing it.
Indeed. And Spawn put out 2 variants. Spawn seems to put out 3 books every issue, and I end up... The variants are always so good, I end up getting them all. The first one...
Gotcha.
So it's Spawn 294. I went and got the black and white variant with the Violator.
Yeah.
The McFarlane
like
cover.
I like that a lot.
And then we've got another... I don't know how to express this. We got another McFarlane Matina variant of the same book, but different cover.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and say right now that cover is winning cover of the year for me as it stands.
Ooh, that's high praise, man.
That's my favorite cover that I've seen so far this year. And Matina is holding it.
That is a pretty dope cover.
But I have a feeling that the next issue of Spawn is going to trump that, based off the solicitations.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but as of right now, 294 of Spawn holds it until 295 comes out.
Alright. Remember that, guys. We'll have to hold him.
So those are my covers of the week. I want to toss out some honorable mentions. There was a bunch this week. Just stuff that, kind of had to trim the fat a little bit. Stuff I wasn't sure that there was enough room to talk about. Doesn't mean it wasn't good enough. Didn't make the cut. That's just I couldn't necessarily find the talking points. One of them I'm kind of disappointed made the list is Age of X-Men Extremis. This was one of the 5 that I was most anticipating. Turns out this was kind of just seemed like a lot more filler of stuff that I already knew, just told in a different perspective. Not necessarily bad. I just overhyped it in my own head.
Fair.
So
Fair
I couldn't figure out what to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Marvel Comics Presents number 2. It was. It's mini stories. It's old mini stories. What are you going to say?
Yeah.
It's good. Just, I don't know what to talk about. This one was featuring Wolverine, Mr. Fantastic, and Gorilla Man. Savage Sword of Conan, number 2. This book confirms that I have a flavor of Conan, and this one kind of went in the direction that I was afraid it was going to go originally.
Sure.
It kind of proved my original bias of Conan correctly. Not that it was bad, it's just I don't think I have enough... I thought I had enough room for 2 Conans. I need my Jason Aaron Conan.
I enjoy this one.
And it's got like the nifty little novella chapter in it too. So they're trying to tell 2 stories in one.
Yeah.
Like I said, it wasn't bad. It was just like I don't know what to say. It's Conan the Barbarian story.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
Yeah. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's just I don't know this team. I think the only reason why I keep reading it, the only reason why I'm still buying in is because I'm waiting for the tie-in again. I think there's going to be like a White Ranger tie-in. I think they're going to bring him back soon for another crossover event.
Okay.
So I'm just I'm already invested since issue 25, so even though I'm not necessarily always finding great talking points and I'm not familiar with this team, I think I just subconsciously I want to make sure I always have the books on hand and accessible for when I gotta cross-reference stuff.
Are you enjoying the read though?
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it's a Power Rangers book. It's just I don't know these Power Rangers.
Right.
They're beyond my time. It's not Go-Go Power Rangers, that's for sure. Hellboy in the BPRD, 1956, part 4 of 4. I believe this is over now. 4-part miniseries. Started out strong. I just don't know where they were going from there. I didn't like the villain they chose. I don't know this little Russian girl.
Mm-hmm.
So, once again, I just don't know if I could do it any justice by talking about something that I feel extremely ignorant about.
Yeah,
They would have had
enough.
a different character as a villain, or a different way they did this, possibly. There just wasn't enough Hellboy in it for me.
Right.
And it's a Hellboy book. And once again, went in with high hopes, like, oh, I'm going to jump on a Hellboy book, and it's a #1. It's a 4-part miniseries. Maybe it'll give me something. And it's going to look like it was going to give me something, and it just kind of turned into a different story.
Yeah,
so,
fizzled out on you.
Yeah. Aliens Resistance, #2. I'm going to read this. I just need to read #1 first. Anything aliens, I'm all about.
Yeah, you're a xenomorph addict.
I am a xenomorph addict. So Dark Horse Comics doing their thing. I'm so much to read this week. I didn't get around to it, but I'm gonna probably read issue #1 and this particular issue #2 tomorrow.
Cool.
The Realm by Image. So we got the 3rd story arc now. I feel like they're doing just like 5-part story arcs according to math. We're on issue 11 now.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I think there's an overall arc, but then we have little cut-ups of it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because this book comes out so rarely, I just can't find myself remembering the characters enough to once again feel adequate enough to talk about this book without feeling like a freaking idiot.
I mean, I read the first 10 in 2 volumes of trades, and I really enjoyed it.
And that's the thing, is this book is a trade book.
You feel that way.
Yeah, I read the first...
Maybe the next issue will change my mind.
I remember reading the first volume in trade, and I was like, what? This is great. I remember meeting Jeremy Hahn, and I was like, this is so good, man. You got gold on you. Like, what's going on? And he was like, oh yeah, 3 more months, issue #6 comes out. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait. And then issue 6 came out, and I was like, oh shit, what happened and everything?
Yeah.
Because it's just... And then like 5 weeks later, issue 7 came out.
Sure,
It's not produced, but it's a trade book, is what it is.
It feels that way. Yeah, the art is great, the story is good. I like the world, I like the setting.
The character design's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Jeremy Hahn and Nick Flaherty and Thomas Maurer do an amazing job with the art.
Definitely one to look into if you like fantasy, post-apocalyptic kind of stories.
It's definitely a fantasy book. And then also Spawn itself, I am a couple issues behind now. I feel like it's every time I get caught up, I get cocky and fall an issue behind again.
Yeah, it happens.
So apparently this is a key issue. There's like a new Violator or something like that, like a new beefier Violator or something. Yeah? I'm not totally sure. If I read it, I'd be able to tell you. But it makes the list of stuff that's worth reading. That's for sure. So, with all of that being said, what was your favorite stuffs this week? What was your favorite cover?
Alex Ross, Captain America.
Yeah? That was a good one. I don't blame you. Mine was, pretty obvious. Spawn, the Matina version.
Sure.
A Matina McFarlane version.
Fair.
What's your favorite gizzards? What's your favorite insides?
I'd actually have to give it to Batman Beyond.
That would have been my second. My first is Shazam.
Shazam. Okay.
Yeah, Alex Sinclair's colors just destroyed everything.
Good choice.
If there was no Shazam this week, or even if there was no Alex Sinclair, not to take away from Eaglesham's pencils, but Alex Sinclair's colors, it's just that's why I like art, is that type of vibrancy. That's what always drawn me to art. So when you could do that, it was just,
Yeah, my second would have to be Heroes in Crisis. Yeah, I'm just...
Gerard's, man, and Clayman,
yeah.
Both of them teaming up. That's amazing interiors. Amazing. What was your favorite story this week? Your favorite overall? Your favorite... Yeah.
Beyond.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. It was just, it was the clear, surefire winner, man. I
opened it up with expectations of what I wanted, and it just delivered.
Yeah.
It really went above that.
Yeah. Above and beyond.
I get it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Damn, we're gonna have to come up with another tagline with Batman Beyond thing again. But I think I can figure it out. This book is so good. I'm so glad you got me hyped on this, man. I've jumped on an issue 25. 25 through 29 has been amazing. We're going to get, I'm assuming, a Joker type of funeral in the next issue.
Could be.
So excited for it. Jurgens is doing an awesome job.
Agreed.
I can actually say at this point in time, with that conclusion... Now, this isn't set in stone because, like I said, I gotta know what more Batman Beyond's gonna go for here.
Sure.
But right now, Batman Beyond is my favorite DC title.
Ooh.
It's just I like learning new stuff. They're making these new characters interesting to me. You know, Terry McGinnis isn't new to me. Like I said, it's just all forgotten on account of the bonk on the head and forgot some random shit. I did subscribe to the DC Universe, so I can go back. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh shit, they got Batman Beyond on here on demand.
Yep.
This is worth it.
One of the greatest, superhero animated film or animated series ever made.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Everything DC animated. 99% of DC animated.
Oh man,
shit's
so good.
It's amazing. That's where they thrive, is in the cartoon universe, for sure. So, agreed. Batman Beyond. Well, cheers to that, dude. We agreed on something.
All right.
Oh, yeah. What else? So, we got to talk about what's coming out next week, yeah?
Yeah, how much we got?
I believe it's a little bit lighter. A little bit lighter.
For everybody but Marvel, of course.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, Batman 66, Tom King's back. Jorge Fornes is drawing this one. And I kind of want to see what's up with that Batman cover. So,
ooh, I like that.
Yeah, well,
Classic.
Midtown's limiting people one per customer on the variant on that, so... hot book, possibly?
Possibly.
Yeah. Deathstroke number 41. I feel like that book's taken a long break. Christopher Priest, Larry Stroman, and Jason Paz. Another book that Midtown's limiting one per. And that's not on the variant. That's on cover A. So who's doing that one? That's a cool cover. Tyler Kirkman? Huh. Wow. Oh, what do you know? Doomsday Clock, number 9. Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. So Doomsday Clock didn't get canceled, guys. It's just freaking been 2 months. Read it in trade. You're never going to remember it. I'm waiting. Female Fury, Cecil Castellucci and Adriana Mello. Right on. So now that I know who Big Barda is, this book makes a little more sense to me.
Yeah, cool.
Mr. Miracle did do something good for me.
Yay.
Besides confuse the hell out of me.
Look, another Heroes in Crisis tie-in. This time with Green Arrow, written by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing.
Oh, shit.
And Javi Fernandez.
I'm going to have to pay full price for it, but it's number 50. So, milestone book. Yeah. And then, Green Lantern. Green Lantern, baby. Grant Morrison, Liam Sharp. One of my favorite team-ups in comics. Harley Quinn, Sam Humphries, and Sami Basari. Are you doing the Harley Quinn thing?
I think I'm gonna look into it.
Undecided?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna read it. We'll see if it's my book to talk about.
Well, I can tell you that we'll be giving away something Harley Quinnish next week.
Cool.
That's a dope cover.
It is.
Teen Titans number 20. Wait, no, I did that wrong. Suicide Squad, my bad. Black Files number 5. I think this is a 5 or 6 part miniseries. Mike W. Barr and Jai Nitz. Yeah, I've actually heard decent things about this little Suicide Squad mini.
Cool.
There's also there's a Justice League book again. Man, I feel like we're talking about Justice League a lot. Number 19, Scott Snyder, Jorge Jimenez. And, missed this one. Rob Liefeld's got a cover. Don't expect to see any feet.
I don't see very many pockets.
Yeah, there's no pouches. I didn't know there was a Liefeld Justice League cover. I'm going to have to pick that up just for nostalgia's sake. What are you going to do? That's the DC books.
There's a Dreaming number 7.
Oh yeah, are you reading
Simon Spurrier and Bilquez Evely.
Yeah, part of the whole Sandman stuff.
I'm reading it. We'll see if I can break it down in detail.
Yeah. More Red Sonja, number 2. Max Russell and Mirko Kolak. So that's a thing now. $6 million Man for... Oh, by the way, that's all by Dynamite. This is also by Dynamite. $6 million Man, #1. Oh, man. Christopher Hastings and David Hahn for the nostalgic folk out there. Moving on to IDW for the little girls or anybody else that's into it.
G.I. Joe!
Or My Little Pony. Friendship is Magic, #75. I've heard good things about this book for people that would be into this book. I mean, there's 75 issues in, so probably not terrible. Image, Cemetery Beach, #7, wrapped up. This will be the final one, so I'm going to binge the last 4 issues now. Hopefully I have some content for you. Warren Ellis and Jason Howard. So I'm curious to see how a Warren Ellis romp goes out.
We've also got Die, #4, Kieran Gillen and Stephanie Hans.
Yeah, and I hear Kieran Gillen's going to do some pretty cool stuff here pretty soon. I think that's a news topic for another day. Surprise.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, man, I forgot. There was something really cool I want to surprise you with. Yep, another one. Paper Girls, #26, Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang. So this book ended like 4 months ago on issue 25. As soon as I picked it up, of course, didn't read any of it because I was like, I'm going to curse it. It's never going to come back. Came back at issue 26 a few months later. So I'm going to pick up now. It's a new story arc. Hopefully they give me enough. Hopefully it's a good jumping on point, but I will be letting you know because it is added to my pull list.
I did read the first 5 and I enjoyed it. So
did you?
I got some catching up to do.
Okay, cool. Right on. Well, I'm just going to start with 26. Self-Made, #4. Matt Groom, Eduardo Ferrigato, and Marcelo Costa. Are you reading Self-Made?
I am reading Self-Made, yep.
I thought so.
And I will tell you more about it next week.
Oh, good. I remember enjoying what you were telling me about Self-Made, if I remember correctly.
The AI video game chick.
Yeah. The Walking Dead, 189, Robert Kirkman, Charlie Adford, and a few others. Not reading it, collecting it, because I'm hoping one day, deep down, I'm going to have a time to read 100 and probably by the time I get around to it, 250 issues all at once and catch up. Take a break already, would you? Like a 2-year break? Give me some time? Sorry.
Not going to happen.
No. Nope. Alright, moving on to Marvel. Age of X-Men Prisoner X #1. Didn't mean to sing that to you, sorry. Vida Alea and German Peralta. Hopefully I'm able to give you a little bit of insight on this one. Oh man, alright, so we got this how do I explain this? This weird mini tie-in, kind of like how they did with the Monsters Unleashed. Like they took a couple books and they gave it like a 16-point something to tie it into something without like renumbering it. So we're getting that with the Amazing Spider-Man #16.HU, and shame on me, I don't know. Shoot, it ties into something, but I forget what the HU is. We'll let you know. Oh, it's the Hunted tie-in. Okay.
Yeah, Black Cat on the cover.
Alright, so that's weird how they did that numbering. Now I'm confused. Darn you, Marvel. Avengers No Road Home, #4, Al Ewing and Sean Azansky, along with Al Ewing's co-writing team. Still reading that, can't stop, won't stop. Champions, #3. Are you reading Champions?
I have been. We'll see if I continue to.
Okay. Well, Jim Zub and Stephen Cummings. Just don't think I have enough room for another kitty book. Oh, shucks, son, I missed it. Avengers, #16, Jason Aaron and David Marquez. Look at that cover. Some Blade. Some Blade. We're gonna get more vampire killing.
Yes, we is.
Kernan the Barbarian, more Jason Aaron. #4, Gerardo Zaffino. Let me try that again. Zaffino. Arting this one. This is a book that, on that cover.
It has a good cover.
Oh,
I like that. I like that a lot.
So this is a book that's just like jumping around in the storyline of Conan.
Cool.
It's not a non-linear.
I'm enjoying these little one-shots.
I'm loving Conan the Barbarian. I've already expressed my Conan stuff. Yes.
Cosmic Ghost Rider destroys Marvel history #1.
This is my hype book of the week.
It's not Donny Cates writing it, though.
No, it's not. It's Paul Scheer, Nick Giovanetti, there we go, and Gerardo Sandoval. So this is a book that a lot of people got all butthurt about, because they're like, Stan, because they announced it right after Stanley died. They're like, everything Stanley done, you guys are killing. They're like, dude, it's a fucking story.
Yeah,
like
it's a little fun little comic.
Yeah, it's
not like it's canon.
Yeah, Marvel's just gonna end it like this. This is it. Yep, everything.
Shut them down, guys.
CosmicBookNews.com was right. This is how they're ending it.
Let's take our money and run.
Yeah. Fucking stupid. No, I am so excited for this book. I love anything Cosmic Ghost Rider, and now I'm curious to see, without Donny Cates writing it, can he be as interesting? Can he still make him sound like fucking Bill Burr? I don't know. We'll find out. There's a bunch of covers for it, though. I'm just getting the one. Deadpool number 10, Scotty Young, and this time
Scott Hepburn.
Scott Hepburn, not Nick Klein. So it has been announced. Deadpool is ending at issue 15, not rebooting, ending with Scotty Young and Nick Klein. They've got apparently they've got cooler stuff than Deadpool to do together.
Cool.
So that's been an amazing team, because Nick Klein is kind of like one of my top 5 favorite Marvel artists, because that dude's just got freaking chops, man. He's so good. And Scotty Young and Deadpool, like, that's the fucking team right there. But so we're gonna get like 5 or 6 more issues of Deadpool, and we're gonna get a new team. I asked Nick on the Twitters, and he was so kind as to respond with I can't tell you.
Ooh, there you go, guys. You heard it here first.
Yeah, nothing. Domino Hot Shots number 1.
Gail Simone, David Baldian.
Yeah, so I think this is a mini-series. I'm not sure. It could be an ongoing. I just don't know what they're doing with Domino, because Domino and Gail Simone already had a thing, and then they ended it. So I'm confused, but I'm going to read it, because the character of Domino herself.
So cool.
Yeah, very intriguing. Very, very intriguing. Immortal Hulk, number 14, Al Ewing and Kyle Holtz. You guys just might as well start ordering 2 of every Immortal Hulk book now, because they're clearly, like, all becoming worth a buttload of money. Issue 2 is now jumped up to, like, being sold for up to $60 a copy on its own.
Wow.
That's just issue 2, first appearance of I forgot the guy's name, but yeah. So yeah, and at the same time, I mean, you're gonna want to get one for the wall.
Alex Ross.
He's still doing, Immortal Hulk and Captain America, the dude. Oh, that's a lot of painting, man. It's a lot of painting. Meet the Skrulls, number 1, Robbie Thompson and Nico Henriken. I'm not sure how necessary this book is, but at the same time, I have faith that there's got to be at least some sort of very interesting, intriguing weight that comes out of the story. Otherwise, Marvel wouldn't put it out.
Well, I mean, besides,
I wouldn't like to think that would.
We got Captain Marvel movie coming out at the end of this week.
Right.
Skrulls,
so
of course they're gonna pump it out.
This has an interesting take. This is a day in the life of a family of Skrulls just trying to be Skrulls.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like Tom King's Vision, but like a spoof on it almost. That's what it reminds me of.
Fair.
So yeah, there's that. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. A bunch of Star Wars stuff. Uncanny X-Men be back. Number 13, Matthew Rosenberg and Salvador Larraca. God darn right I'm reading Uncanny X-Men. Notice how many times I'm not fucking cussing? What else? I know there's some independents that... Oh, I heard Walk Through Hell's really great. Garth Ennis and Goran Sudska. I can't... What I'm bummed about, just the name of that sounds cool. I've heard nothing but good things about that. That is done by Action Lab. Aftershock Comics. So maybe once a trade comes out, jump on that. Blossom 666 number 2, Colin Bunn and Lauren Barga, that ties into the Archie world. The first issue is very well reviewed. You could find a pretty good review on Outright Geekery. Yeah, if you want to know what the hell's going on with that. I dig their indie reviews. Zombie Trap 57, Dan Mendoza, Vince Hernandez, and Winston Young. Dan Mendoza worked on an indie book that we talked about last week, Lords of the Cosmos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Zombie Tramp ain't no joke. Only issue 57 now of their second volume, so Lords of the Cosmos is another book that we talked about, reviewed, and praised. So, yeah, no, they know what the hell they're doing. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Fart Night. Just gotta say it because it sounds cool.
Yeah.
No clue what that could be about. Remy, Isu, Mokhtar. Butchered it, sorry. Chris Cosby, Remy, Isu, Mokhtar. Not even on the second try. Sorry. I just have to mention it because, you know, yeah. And Keen Spot is actually, I gave you what was the video game girl book that I gave you. It's the same publisher.
Yeah.
That's the same producer. So I would
God
have to
Mode or something
God
like that?
Mode, yeah. I would have to expect that it has that Fortnite would only, I mean, especially with that title, would have that same type of rompy feeling.
Sure.
I'm thinking Keen Spot's all about the fun video game type. I think they got a genre going on here.
Yeah, cool.
Don't know anything about them.
Do what you know.
Yeah, do what you know. Maybe I'll surprise you with a copy of Fortnite like I do.
Oh, goody.
Tank Girl. Oh man, Tank Girl's been rebooted recently. They're on their 3rd volume. We're only at number 3. Might have to check it out. Titan Comics. Alan Martin and Brett Parson. That's Brett, not Bart, right?
Brett.
Yeah, Brett Parson. So, yeah, I might have to check out some Tank Girl. But that's all that I found hypeable, hype-worthy. Not necessarily not hype-worthy, but you get what the fuck I'm saying. Stuff that I'm personally excited about, Justin's personally excited about, stuff that's on our pull list, you're probably going to hear us talk about. Yeah. Or just stuff that needs an audience.
Yeah, there we go.
That's not us, that we know exists. So that's the gist of it all. So, all that being said, I'm going to talk about some stuff we're giving away. Feeling generous. We're climbing up the ladder as far as Twitter followers and all of that stuff. Then we're almost to that 100 mark. We're ready to give away that Chuck Palahniuk book. Mentioned that. But the latest giveaway involves 2 of what you thought were my wall books. No, they're going to be your wall books. Well, we're going to do the Derek Chew and Wonder Woman by Art Germ. I'm going to send them both out to you. What do I got to do to get these books? Well, I'll tell you, Justin.
Man, that was a really good impersonation. Wow, I didn't even feel my mouth move.
Yeah, no, I'm a ventriloquist.
Man.
So, it's pretty simple. We host through a site called Podbean. I chose that because it's easiest for me to track their stats, and I'm a numbers whore, number junkie. So, in order to do so, all you got to do to win both of these books, it's very simple. You go to Podbean, you use your Facebook account, you download the Podbean app. Simple. You got a small app, and you're able to listen to us and many other podcasts on top of that. This is not a Podbean plug. Just telling you how you win these books. Calm down, Justin.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry.
Oh, by the way, you're disqualified. You can't win. So, yeah. Carry on. Just follow us. All you got to do is follow us. That way you automatically get our downloads. And go to episode 19 of the podcast, which was our last produced full episode, and comment with your Twitter handle. Or, at this point, you can even comment on episode 20. Just comment on a current episode with your Twitter handle. I'll know what you mean, wink wink. And that'll automatically enter you into the drawing. Once we get to just 25, we're not far away, just 25 Podbean followers. We're new, don't judge us. I'm going to give this shit away. Randomly draw one of your guys' names, and you'll be the proud owner of 2 spectacularly graded wall books. Comic books, yes. Yeah. So that's how you do that. We like giving stuff away. I'm in the spirit of giving. I don't care. I want everybody to enjoy this stuff as much as I do, and yeah, man, that's just good stuff. Good stuff to hang. And no, I'm not shorting myself. I bought 2 of each book. I'm not stupid. They're going on my wall too. Yeah, no, with that being said, do you have any other final thoughts to throw down?
No, I think we've covered everything.
Cool, man. Well, you guys know where to find us. Obviously, Podbean would be my favorite place, but Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, if you like thumbnails and bookmarks as to what we're talking about. And, yeah, find us on Twitter, all that questions. All you indie creators out there, do not stop sending us stuff. We enjoy it. We technically reviewed 3 books this week by the same creator, just because generosity, man.
Yeah, gotta.
Yeah, I liked it. If I don't like it, I'm not gonna shit on it.
Yeah, I mean, we just generally just don't talk about things we don't like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll give you a pass if we don't like it. We'll tell you a pass, sorry.
So, everyone, until next week, geek responsibly.
Yes, and read responsibly, because that's what I say. Cheers, man.
Cheers.